Previously, in the Age of Ashes. After fighting off that demon, I had to go to the Kintargo guard to tell him our side of the story. Lucky enough, Eleonora showed up just in time to escort my old friends around town. It looks like you got all kinds of attention up here. I'm not the only one that made the round to the hill in this ruckus. Eleonora's coming.
It looked like you had a lot of fun up here.
Oh, it's delightful. Delightful time was had by all.
Ash, or Nolly, as the case may be here, is going to head down the hill with the guards. Still, smile on her face, cheery, hoe over her shoulder, talking the ear off, leaving the 6 of you with Buddy up here at the top of this hill. Their first stop was Lady Gora's school for gutters, but Miss Gora herself seemed to have things well under control. When troubles come, they come not singly. How may we help you?
We have a bit of a personal issue with the Scarlet Triad. He's brought us to Kintargo.
Yes, the trio of Scarlet Triad have already arrived here. Fencing lessons were happening, and they fared poorly.
Oh, well then, I suppose they know how to handle themselves.
We have them trapped and bound, gagged, and locked in an unused classroom for the time being, but needed to ensure I could trust you. The Long Roads Coffee House hadn't fared quite as well, but they found a survivor hiding in with some real interesting information, and the remains of a smashed chair strewn across the top of the steps themselves.
Well, perhaps you should have come here first before going into the school. I feel a bit bad about that now.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Well, that don't look good.
I just hid. I didn't know what to do. I don't even have a knife. I don't have anything.
You did exactly the right thing. You hid and survived so that you can tell us what happened and save your friends.
They were glad that most of the staff here, Mr. January, was halflings. It would make them easier to haul up the stairs at Tannessen Tower.
They're taking them to the tower.
A particular tower. Tannessen Tower.
That's
Tannessen Tower.
the one by the... Vel!
Oh, come on. There you go.
Also, Big Bud.
Had you considered perhaps communicating to them the mysteriousness of the event and the fact that it's a right mystery? I mean, you don't need to have all the answers.
Right, mystery notwithstanding, I feel I shouldn't be talking to the bird.
Why not? I'm easily the smartest person here.
He's right. As I keep hacking.
Just got a huge grin on her face. And there's a freaking bird.
You're just jealous.
Frickin' bird. So,
What, you hadn't heard?
as we
No.
left off last week, we had followed up on all 3 of the locations on the coded message that we found at Sunset Imports. We went to Kite Hill. We slew a giant ice praying mantis.
We went to
We-
an anime school.
Basically.
Totally did.
Totally is.
With a creepy
Went to Lady
elf.
Goula's School for Girls. She seemed to have everything pretty well under control. Didn't super.
They came in the back window.
Need our
They would
assistance.
practice.
We made the Long Roads Coffee House, which hadn't gone quite as well. But it looked like, thanks to these signals we had sent with the kites, the situation could have been a lot worse than it actually was. And you had found one survivor after working your way through some specters and a pair of Rakshasa who had just been chilling, hanging out, enjoying some tea that they stole from the coffee
Purloined
house.
tea.
Yes.
What a hellish crime.
Says the guy who stole the entire wealth of a town and maybe plans to give it back.
Recovered the wealth of an entire town, and I am the only reason we haven't gone and pawned every single thing in that sack.
You had met
I mean, not wrong.
Marchesa, our newest contestant for the saddest looking NPC art in the history of
Yeah, she's so pitiful looking.
Paizo
Poor
Publishing.
thing.
It's up there like, this is her and Sebsenia are gonna have to fight over it because I'm not actually sure. That's a tough
Well,
one.
That is.
I would still have to give it to Sepsinia.
I haven't seen this sad Sepsinia.
Not
art.
by much, but I'd still give it
I
to
don't
Sepsinia.
immediately have Sepsinia on hand in my Age of Ashes set up to show you, or I would.
Failure.
But it was a very, very similar.
I mean, she's even got the mascara streaks.
So did Sepsinia.
But she's not wearing makeup. That's what's really confusing me about the whole picture. Like, if you're a girl, you know what mascara looks like,
you
and
mean-
she's not wearing
You mean
any.
women
I was
don't
gonna
cry
ask
black
about
tears? I always thought that was how that worked.
Brutal Legend lied to me. Take these session rerolls.
Yay.
Take these coins down the table. And we left off as you had
Really? Really?
Master and Reflex, by the way.
He bonked it somewhere over there.
Well, you dropped it and it like ricocheted off my palm and under the table. I'm just
Well, I
like,
guess you don't get a session reroll today. Because I don't have any more of those.
it's
so-
over there. It's over there somewhere.
Such
find
is
it.
life.
We'll find it later.
Anyway, you had met up with Marchesa and spoken with her some. After calming her down a little bit, she told you that the Triad had in fact been here. It had taken a lot of the staff. It doesn't actually seem like they had come to take slaves. It wasn't the massacre it first looked like. It just apparently was a fairly large brawl initially. They'd been hauled off to a place called Tannessen Tower, name that you recognize being part of the Alabaster Academy. And we were right there, still in this room, still with Marchesa.
I feel like we should take you someplace safe before we decide what we're going to do.
Like, I can't imagine that they're going to come back here. They thought they had everything. Everyone. But I can go home. I can go to one of the other barns.
Perhaps we brought you to that school. It seems well secured enough, and you can at least ride that out there for maybe a day or so until we get this all cleaned up.
Lady Goris,
Yes.
I've never met her, but I know she has a shelter. It's close. I can head there.
Well, we have other things we need to address with her at any rate. How about I take the young lady over there?
Sounds good.
And you would hear a shout from downstairs, just kind of echoing through the bar. Oh, hello?
Is that,
Where is it?
is that Salazar Todd again?
It's kind of hard to make out. It's clearly from the front door. You can get the words, and it sounds like a female voice, and sound like Salazar Todd.
Okay.
I'll go see who it is.
If it's Morak Shasa, they can have a fight if they want one.
I'll go down with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna head down there as well.
Very gallant of you all.
You guys head down the ladder to the lower level of the coffee house, back where the doorway to the main entryway comes. And did you close that door behind you? I assume you guys just left it open, honestly,
Yeah.
because it was
I
pretty
think
empty.
we did.
So
Yeah.
from down there, you can hear the voice much more clearly. Boy, if I missed the right scrap, and there's not much I can do about it now. You best have won it. And,
As a matter of fact, we did.
you come around the corner to Ash.
Oh no.
Pebble in one hand, Poem over his shoulder in the other.
I put my arms up when I see the
That
pebble.
is a loaded cannon.
I put my arms up when I see the pebble.
Oh, it's on.
Oh,
Oh, well, that has to be some right good news. Laura,
well,
you were here.
the news is mixed.
I can see that. But, and she kind of points to the dead Scarlet Triad dwarf in the middle of the room. I don't see any bodies here that's, well, are any big loss to the city?
Well, unfortunately, it seems that the Triad beat us here. These fell in their initial attack, but apparently they captured some of the staff here.
And then there was some ghost.
Yes, they left some ghosts behind, as well as some Rakshasa, some evil spirits, to haunt the place. We cleared them out.
I'm gonna be right with you. I don't know what in the world the Rakshasa is.
Evil spirits.
But it ain't the first I've heard of ghosts. And, well, you all ain't from here. You familiar with any of the history of Cantargo? We hear a lot of sightings and reportings of ghosts of the previous ruler, one of the Thruins.
Oh, Thrune. Yes, the ghost was saying something about that. Rage of House Barcelai.
Barcelai it is then.
Yes, from Cheliax, you see.
Well, from here. From Cantargo when it was
I don't know
Cheliax.
how Dalrin used this thing.
Well, that's interesting. Like you said, not the first I've heard of it, but the first verifiable.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it shows up again. There was actually 2 of them, for one thing, and we banished them both. And if more of them show up, maybe there's more, or maybe they're from something else.
Well, that's right interested in news.
And
I
I'm
can't imagine one man has 2 ghosts.
And I'm afraid they've taken your friends to the Alabaster Tower.
Tannessen Tower, was it?
Tannessen Tower in the academy. And she turns and looks back towards the door, takes a couple steps, and just kind of cranes out. I can see that from here.
Indeed. Here, this is Marchesa. She was able to hide before they took her
Still
away.
upstairs.
Oh, I thought we didn't bring her down? Okay.
No.
No,
Yeah.
we're keeping her where we can keep her safe. I didn't know who this was.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Well, in that case, a young lady by the name of Marchesa managed to hide and not to be taken. She overheard them talking about taking everyone to Tannessen Tower.
Well, Marchesa, she's worked here and worked with us for years. She's one of Drought's personal friends from even before this was a barn.
Oh, she's terribly shaken up at the moment.
I suppose this works out. Of course, it's unfortunate Scarlet Triad righted the place and made some headway, but we didn't have any crop in the barn. So the losses are just those who knew what they were up against.
Apparently,
No innocent getting caught in the middle of it.
Well,
apparently the message got here in time, so it could have been much worse.
and they're not lost yet.
Aye, if we know where they are. So, what's the plan then? Tannessen Tower's in the academy. I know the academy's obviously challenged and they were pretty massively banked by the Rune monarchy, but I can't imagine they're working harboring slaves in the middle of the new city of Cantargo, still running the front of an academy. I mean,
Well, I can definitely say one thing is maybe we just give them some sort of a distraction, and then maybe some of us can sneak in and
I
take
don't
a
think
look
there's any
around.
sneaking to be done. Tannessen Tower is abandoned, as far as I know.
Oh,
It's,
really?
That simplifies things.
well,
That makes it easier.
a good half of the academy is these days. Their enrollments have been, well, less than stellar. They didn't really pivot well when Ravenel became a thing. Like I said, they were deep in the pockets of House Rune, drawing students from all over Cheliox. And that, with what came out about some of the professors around the same time, and devil summoning, worshiping.
They probably lost a lot of their beneficiaries as well.
It's distinctly possible that the Triad went and took advantage of their troubled times, possibly muscling on their territory a bit. Give us this abandoned tower, we'll give you some gold and you shut up about it.
Well, they're certainly not empty, but between losing the Rune bankroll and, well, everything that's came out about Professor Matter, and what with him functionally being a serial killer, they've had some rough times.
One of the professors was a serial killer.
Oh, that's a long story, and one I suppose we can impart later.
I'm sorry, what?
Well,
He's not still there, is he? We should watch out for him if he is.
Oh,
should-
no. Fled the country.
Oh, okay, doesn't matter then.
Fled the country in the news, as I understand it.
well, as of right now, we need to get the little Missy upstairs down to the academy and
Well,
safe
Hi,
place.
Marchesa!
His name's
It's
going on
Nolly.
my list.
And, you hear just barely from top, Nolly! Nolly, I'm coming! Hurry right down! And, pitter-patter of tiny little hairy halfling feet making their way, and then you see just out through the hole a foot kind of like reach a couple of times trying to find a run
Oh,
as she's struggling to get her way down.
I mean, you wouldn't want it obvious. Halflings are up there. It'd be like all human-sized.
And Ash turns to the rest of you. Well, this ain't get everyone. And besides, we're chasing after slavers here, not, well, serial killer teachers.
yes, that is fortunate, isn't it?
It means that I imagine that at least most of them will still be alive.
So, for what is worth, is there a lot of students and classes in tower?
Well, like I said, the tower itself is abandoned. The academy is, well, it's not like it's one building, it's a whole campus. It's a big area. It takes up most of the city block out. You can see it just through the door here. Not, right across the main park from Lady Gorik's. And a lot of their classes are still running, a lot of their buildings are still occupied, but Tannessen was supposed to be classrooms on lower levels and dorms on the upper levels, I believe. But the whole thing was getting bankrolled by the Tannessen family. And, well,
I suppose could just walk in front door then.
It seems straightforward enough. Since the place is supposed to be
away?
abandoned, everyone in there is an enemy. It makes it very convenient.
How far away do you suppose that tower is from here? I mean, you know,
I do not believe you can throw Scarlet Tower from here.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure I could crack a window with a pebble from here.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of that. Although now that you mention it, it's not a bad
The loaded
idea.
artillery cannon does not count.
Look,
You never hear the sling pebble that gets you.
What would you say? Half a mile less?
I can't imagine a righter time that the group of you could have arrived if you save for being the heroes who can target themselves. But this Scarlet Triad, this is a lot more of an organized force than we dealt with in years. It's been a right mess, but it would have been a much, much worse one here, even just today, were it not for the all of you. And where's your friend with the fancy hat?
Oh, he had to
Severin?
go back home.
His wife apparently had a very sternly worded letter for him.
And you don't go against Bond. What she says is law around that household.
What she says is law across the Seven Kingdoms.
Big man is here to be replaced by a cousin.
I've helped a lot of crop down the rows throughout my years working here, but I don't know if I'd even be willing to get involved in that one. But it's fair. Our problems aren't his. Or yours, but you helped us anyway.
Speaking of which, I don't suppose we've had your resume yet.
A resume?
No, I'm resume. We want your resume.
Resume.
The things that you can do.
Well,
Well, she's very quick on her feet.
A resume.
She can swing that sword around pretty well.
We
Oh.
what exactly kind of information are you looking for here?
Well, recommend yourself to us. If you're going to join the Heroes of Breach Hill, we're going to need you to, impress us.
It's a thing she does. I wouldn't take it personally.
I figured the biggest need you have is you have a whole field when Buddy went home. So I figured I have to step in and take over the family for the family.
I mean, she has a point.
But if you really want me to sell myself to you, I'm a good dancer.
I was not meaning it in that
She's a
particular
spectacular
way. We are trying to fight slavers. I was more trying to get an idea of what your particular specialty was so we could best work you into the group dynamic. We all have a place here. He smashes things. He's very direct. We like that about him.
And I get really big.
He's very sneaky, and he can poison things, and he generally just...
I've never seen Trushik poison anyone.
He poisons his arrow things, and they go into people, and they hurt them.
Perhaps you
I'm a
have a
fan of
better.
that tactic myself, but I can't deny its efficacy.
And you're an excellent healer and a fighter, and...
The slight hesitation.
Well, you're also a part of this group.
Yeah, I get hit in the face a lot. That's kind of how that works.
Hi,
Well,
everyone needs a frontliner.
and, I blow things up. What do you do?
Well, I hit things with my dancing partner and I hold up the sword.
What's her
I'm
name?
fast. What's her name?
What's her name?
Oh, Delilah.
Oh.
Oh, that's so
pretty.
sweet.
This
Hey
is
there,
Big Red.
Delilah.
And I'm really fast. Plus, if you ever need someone to talk to, nobility, higher ups, and folks like that, I have some knowledge in that,
And you can dance.
and I can assuredly,
Oh, she
Well,
does.
let's see.
as easy as you breathe.
Well, let's see it.
Are we seriously going to have her dance to entertain us in the middle of a broken down bar?
Look, it's
mean,
a
maybe.
bar. But actually, it's a tea shop.
It's a coffee shop.
Tomato.
It was a coffee shop,
Well, let's see it.
And as much as obviously we need to be getting the Tannessen Tower to make all this work,
Yes.
the sun's going down, and getting into the academy is going to be a little more awkward at night if you're not recognizing. They do have security and whatnot, and we want to raise as few flags as possible.
Well, not to mention if they have us not supernatural support, the triad that is, as we've seen so far, we're going to need to prepare a bit better before we go.
Speaking of
kicking a door in.
Especially if this is where they're operating from. If this is where they're taking, their captives back to. That's where we're going to be finding our crop. We need to be ready. It's not going to do anyone any favors to rush in and just add to their captives.
Speaking prepared, Nolly, quick question for you. That spear that the devil had, the ice spear, is it still at the park by chance?
Well, we didn't quite leave it on the ground, though. I think the guards took what they could, brought it into the impound, the spear and the head you put on it,
Yeah.
as a part of their report. I don't know if they've found something to do with the body quite yet.
Well,
but
I was just wondering if maybe they don't care if I take that spear off their hands. Maybe it might be useful for later.
well, I can certainly put a word in for it, or you can pop down to the constabulary yourself.
I mean,
I know they
one-
have it, but
Well,
I'd say
just-
you've more than earned it, and if they need someone that could persuade them.
Please
Well-
don't go and see the authorities and talk without someone else there with
I
you.
was about to say if someone can come with me and show me, then I'll gladly go.
This also sounds like a job for tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd question your ability to wield a spear of such size, but well, I've seen you work already, and it was right impressive.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Does that mean we can watch her dance now?
Yes.
Because I'm very curious.
By all means, I pull up a chair and pull out one of my horns.
Roisin will start clapping out a rhythm for you.
I'll start making coffee.
Hold up. I have this.
Oh, God. He has the thing for it.
I have.
Give the honor of
the tavern
escorting
music.
Marshal to the constabulary.
Hold on. You know what? Out of flavor text. I reach into my bag. Hold on. I might have something else. A small thing of bagpipes.
What?
He has bagpipes.
Do you have perform?
I don't have perform.
I'm
but-
unclear where he's keeping those.
It's bagpipes. No one has performed.
I mean,
as he pulls out the bagpipes, Ella just kind of looks at him for a moment. I know exactly what to dance here.
I'll sing.
Anyone got a? Roisin has swords on her, right?
She's got big
Can I
pocket
hold
sword.
one of them their swords?
Oh, sure. Careful it doesn't torque your wrist out, though.
Grabs the sword, she sets it on the ground carefully. She takes out the light, lays it across in a cross pattern. If anyone ever seen Scottish sword dancing, that's exactly what she's gonna start doing. Where she's just slowly dancing around the swords in a circle, and then she starts stepping and hopping over the two swords.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Hopscotch
actually
with some
sounds
swords,
pretty cool.
basically. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a roll.
And I'll sing to keep rhythm.
I need to YouTube
And
it.
as she starts dancing, she does have a scarf around her that actually starts to flow out and seems to move with her rhythm.
wait a minute. I actually do have performance, believe it or not.
You're trained?
Nice.
30.
It's only a +2, but it counts.
Nice.
I mean, that sounds bagpipes.
You're
So,
not. It's a plus two.
but if you're, you're not
Oh, you're
trained.
not-
If it's
not
a plus
trained?
two. You can.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can do it. You don't have
Oh,
to be
okay.
trained in skills to do it in second
Well,
edition. It just means
Marshall
you're not,
just has random items in his bag, so he doesn't. I mean, it's still 15.
15 is
It's not taking
bagpipes.
It's danceable too.
Slightly out of. Let me play you the song to my people.
It's just one note, just one long.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
15 really, like, I'll dog the 15's not bad. 15 is like competent bagpipery.
Yep.
So I mean,
All
like,
right, I'll take it.
A 20 to
Honk 'em.
sing.
I think, yeah, and between this, we have a good group in here.
And
Can I assist?
30.
Can I assist?
You assist?
I'll accompany with the singing.
Okay. And Roisin is a singer.
Yeah, actually I have perform. If I roll a 2, it's not very good, but
Use
that's a
your scales
19.
like a little.
Hey. Almost a success.
Almost a
You got
success.
the backup there. So,
So I guess I'm playing the scale xylophone.
washboarding his own picks.
Oh,
A 19.
it's a new music group.
And now we're just standing here, just watching.
Slightly awkward new band name.
You're not the strangest folk I've ever met.
You have no idea.
No, I'm pretty sure I don't.
We all deal with our stress
you
in
can have
different
a +2
ways.
for
None of us are trained.
Because I got a 20, so I
I
made
actually
it easy.
technically am trained. I just rolled a 2.
Oh.
Nice.
That's a whole 38.
38's pretty good.
Mercedes is just kind of sitting
was
in
a-
the back.
A fascinating performance targeting everyone in the
What are we
room.
doing?
Look at her go. She's like floating over those things.
Oh my god, now aren't you glad I made her dance?
This is amazing.
This
to
is
dance on this floor.
fabulous.
This is spectacular.
Do you know how much money we could make off of you?
You'll see.
Wait, what?
Well,
is
and she
a
pulls out like a
process
little
for
cube.
hiring
I've already been
new
making a
members.
lot of money off myself.
That's lovely. See, this is how heroes of Breach Hill unite.
I still can't get over the fact you call yourselves heroes.
It's a company thing.
Nolly, I'm
Technically,
pretty
we're
sure I
hired
heard
as
some
heroes.
sliced this strange tiger-headed monster in the other room, and that was it.
Right, we killed the tiger-headed monsters, and now we're dancing.
We fight hard and then we play hard.
We're celebratory.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
But
And this coffee's lovely. It's making me very lively.
it's
Oh.
certainly catchy.
Wanna walk over to the sad halfling and try to lead her into a dance.
Come on, dance. Your friends have been kidnapped.
Dance for joy, it wasn't you.
You're the lone survivor.
Don't step on a triad head when you're making your way.
She'll try. I mean, again, after today and after what's happened here, she is
Just
like is more than like in the middle of the destroyed coffee house. Like,
I mean, we are heroes.
No better
right?
place for it.
surrounded by
We are noble heroes.
everything that's happened. I mean, She's all right. She's clearly unfamiliar, but
I don't think many people would be familiar with what's going on right now.
No.
and as
I'm
Eleanor
playing the
kinda-
washboard.
On yourself.
Probably just shakes your head.
Wait,
know-
you still look like a tiger to me, though.
You do. He does. Yes.
Yep.
So I'm wondering how you're doing that.
Through the
Scaly, so maybe I'll make a.
Didn't you dispel magic it?
No, she never did.
She tried. I think
Tried,
she
but
she
failed.
Ah,
She failed.
Okay, we'll save.
Oh, will save? Okay.
There we
that
go.
yeah, that's a 19 on the die, so.
So with that, as you see him scratching, you hear the clear, scaly sounds coming out from underneath. You kind of blink your eyes a bit, and your sheik returns to normal, and you can see almost an ephemeral, like a translucent guise of this robed, tiger-headed creature over him. That you can see through and see the normal Trishik there. You can pierce the illusion.
Okay,
I'll
so-
count that as an interaction.
Alrighty. So I look as I'm playing the bagpipes still, I look at him like, oh, so it was an illusion. I thought I was going crazy.
That is
Goes
a,
back to fight.
that is a very odd illusion to cast without like some kind of smoke cloud or something to disguise that happened. Like suddenly your friend's not your friend.
Except he still sounds like your friend.
Yeah,
He's still
that's
hitting
still
your
your
enemies.
friend. But he's not. He doesn't look like it. Don't hit him. Not me.
You know, this is actually rather nice. It's the first time we've done anything really fun together.
Oh, it has been a minute, hasn't it?
Oh, that don't sound
Well,
quite
believe it or
right.
not, it has barely been a week since we left Breach Hill. We actually haven't been in the field that long.
Wait a minute.
feel like
wait
it's
a
been
minute.
long.
Wait a minute. It's only been a week since you left Breach Hill?
Just so.
Oh, yes.
Breach Hill's clear on the other side of the map. How did you get here in a week?
Oh, not for us, it isn't.
If,
Yes.
Like,
if you would like to go back to
We-
Breach Hill, it would take 3 days?
3 days.
A few days.
Ish. Mostly that's the boat trip.
That's how the heroes of Breach Hill travel, don't you know?
Look, unless you sign
I
a
am very
contract,
pissed.
I'm afraid we can't tell you. Company secrets.
company.
I suppose technically
How did
true.
Buddy get mixed up with you folk?
Talking of hiring practices and talent scouting and whatnot.
Oh, you're hired. In fact, you now outrank both of them.
I was right hoping this could possibly go the other way around. I've gotten to enjoy Eleanor's dancing plenty of my times in Cantargo while she's been here. But still, I've never seen a group so capable as you lot. Not since, again, the Heroes of Cantargo, and now another group self-styled, as it may be, Heroes of Breach Hill.
It's destiny.
Legends come from somewhere.
Technically, as I understand, they were awarded that title from the town of Breach Hill, so we're not quite as egotistical as we sound.
Look, our problems ain't yours. And what's happened here, you had no need to be dealing with it. I understand you got your own beef with Scarlet Triad, obviously. You got personal reasons for going against them, but I think you'd make right good tailors.
Nolly, you saved our lives. If that's not a debt, I don't know what is.
I threw a couple of rocks at a big bug. All the rest of you held it off and dealt with all of its magic and faced the brunt of its rage.
I mean, yeah.
Despite
It's basically what happened, it's true.
But
despite throwing such small rocks, they are more effective than my bow.
you know, that
The
was,
ranking makes sense now to think about it.
Marshall's trying
that
not
was
to
a
laugh
very
at that.
big admission.
And she just kind of holds the her hoe up in front of herself. As you can certainly see here, there's more than meets the eye, not just to me, but to the Bellflower Network, and to all that we do. And quite a few tricks that tried to come with it. Obviously, anytime you ought to come by Cantargo for whatever reason, you'll be drinking with me first.
That's for sure.
If you ever wanted to help out, I'd be more than happy to teach you what we know.
Good to
Oh,
know.
we love that.
always good to have friends.
We could certainly use you. As you can see, Cheliak's pulling out of the region.
Wait,
Hasn't really put it into our needs.
we could help. We have a network, a literal travel network that we can use to get slaves out of here.
We do.
That's quite true, actually.
You don't sound like you're getting to and from whatever Breach Hill is here. It is a couple days' journey, and it takes us weeks to take our crop down the roads to Andoran. If you got a much faster route than that, I'm glad to hear it.
We most certainly do. We could
get them across the entire continent side.
get them far away from anyone who could ever hurt them ever again.
It's very easy to sneak things past the boulders and gods when you'll simply go past all of it?
Well, you got some kind of magic Thulian and flying carpets or something.
Not exactly.
Something of the sort, yes, but
I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Wait,
Be chill.
I was
2 days.
thinking that, this would be amazing for trade, but we could actually really help people with this. That's incredible.
I suppose the one downside, though, is that these rescued people will be winding up either in Breach Hill or in the Mwangi jungle, as I understand. Neither are terribly desirable places to end up.
Not when you're a slave, darling.
Well, fair enough, then.
We do.
I don't know much
have-
about Mongian jungles, but where exactly about is Breach Hill?
I'm not entirely certain.
It's that direction somewhere.
I came at
pull out-
I came
I
at it
pull
from
out
a
a-
different side, you see.
I just pull out a map. It's like, we're here. This is Kantarga.
Oh, look
Breach
at
Hill
you.
is clear over here.
That's right near the Andron border. That's 4 weeks overland journeys for our crop. If you can do that in 3 days, even just as a stopping point, that's where we're headed anyway.
Exactly.
Well, that works out rather nicely.
Yep. We just got to get all organized and packed together. That's all.
Well, at the very least, all we have to do is get the Triad under control here, and then the road out of Kintargo is open.
Andron's got the Eagle's Decree. They abolished slavery and well-founded their country to spit in its face. The Eagle's Decree states that no matter what obligations, what contracts anyone may hold over another man's life, null and void if they're within the borders of Andron.
That's right. My brother is an Eagles Ranger. He patrols the borders of Andoran.
They've done a lot of good for us. We'll work hand in hand with them doing what we do. They sponsored a lot of our barns throughout the region, throughout Eastgard.
Well, if it goes and takes the innocent out of slavery, I'm all for it.
And we want your barns to be stable.
Aye.
I had the feeling we changed the subject. I wasn't ready for it.
Oh.
Well, I can't say no to a bit of brevity here.
Even if we managed to get slaves out, nobody could actually investigate. Is both private property on a distant continent would be protected.
Well, I mean, if they want to lay siege to the key to the castle, they're certainly welcome to try.
You got a castle!
You got a castle?
Of course we have a castle. We're heroes. All heroes have castles.
I
That's
thought
the rule.
was insinuated.
Wait. Huh. Hey,
I mean, we have
I
to
need-
fix it up first.
It's in the contract. I
I
told
feel like
you.
I need
no.
a drink.
Eleonora, you've impressed us very nicely with your dance, and now it's our turn to impress you.
With our castle.
How did you get a castle?
He killed a very big rat. A lot of them.
Look, as much as I
that sounds about right.
desperately love to stay here and listen to the rest of this story, I'm gonna get more chases somewhere safe out of
Yeah.
here. I don't imagine the Scarlet Triad are getting moving again, especially after they've been blunted everywhere they've tried to go. I stopped by the school for girls briefly, and Lady Gloria seems to have that pretty under control.
Yes, indeed. Her students seem quite capable.
She's one of the
That's what
scariest people I've ever met in my entire
Terrifying
life.
woman, honestly.
I mean, that's just finishing schools in general.
Safest barn in Kintargo, hands down. I wouldn't trust anyone else to watch over it better, but I want to get her somewhere safe. Stand an offer, though. If you want to help out the Bellflower Network, you want to become tailors, we can teach you.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back.
Oh,
We
yes.
get you scooting those feet faster than you could have imagined. Well, save for Eleonora.
Oh, and
Yeah.
And Nelly, if you want to ever get say an upgrade with your fancy little weapon there, come talk to me.
I wouldn't trade this hoe for the world.
I'm not saying trade it. I mean make it better.
It's gotten me through more than I can imagine, and I can't imagine having it any different. It's a little, just like me. It's more than it looks like it is.
I
completely
notched the I thought those were
you just
handle
gotta-
wraps, but those are notches.
You didn't notice that?
There's dozens of them.
Of course there's dozens of
Yeah.
them. She's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's pretty,
He just kind of
pretty
looks at it and
special.
goes, you know what? Respect. Much respect. But if you have a change of mind, my alpha's there. I'm very good at crafting weapons, as you can tell.
Well, if you need me tomorrow, whatever your plans may be for Tannessen Tower and for the Academy, I want to make sure the town itself's right out of your way. Easy the path as well as I can. If you head to the Academy sometime in the daylight, I imagine you'll be able to walk right in without no questions.
All right. See you
my plan.
tomorrow then, I said.
If you need me, come back to Kite Hill.
Most
I'm there
certainly.
most days.
Okay.
So, Eleonora, what brought you to Kintargo? I'm very curious. A relative of Buddy's ending up on the other side of the world. You must have had some motivation.
Well, my I guess to say put some personal business down on the table. I'm actually looking for my sister. Well, looking the relative term. I'm traveling around, and if I happen to find her, I happen to find her. And, just ended up here, ended up there. I wound up in Cantarga. And I met the Bellflower, and I met Nolly. And I heard about the Scarlet Triad, and I started dancing, and I had a lot of fun here. And I just kind of ended up sticking. And then, you folks showed up at View, and that's about it.
What happened to your sister?
She just ran away from home.
Do you have a picture of her or something? Maybe we can help.
She looks a lot like me in the face. That's about the best description I give to you.
Well, to be fair, we can't entirely see your
looks-
I was
face.
about to say.
Like you in the
you
face.
you take this half of the face and you just kind of put it on the other side.
I get the
I'm
feeling that
starting
you're not
to-
quite understanding what I was hinting at there. but-
I'm starting to understand the relationship to Buddy now.
Marshall's trying not to like giggle like crazy.
I do see the resemblance in the personality.
I'm trying to picture it.
Trying to picture what?
Your sister
My sister?
with just one half of your face.
Oh.
Now I'm just picturing your sister with one half of her face, and it's actually kind of disturbing.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of a terrifying thought.
Do you never take your mask off? Is that part of the thing?
We won't press you on it, but we are curious.
I'm going to press you on it.
Are you going to press me on it? I never take the
Resume
mask.
very well may press you on it.
I'm assuming, I can assume that. I never take the mask off. Not in public, anyways.
Is it burned?
You could say that, I got it. It's very, very ugly underneath the mask. A nice, big, ugly burn from my childhood.
Oh.
And
Well,
it's kind of embarrassing.
I suppose I can understand that. Well, in that case, you're excused.
Thank you kindly.
I would hate to be exposed in such a way that's very impolite. I must apologize. She'll start, burn on your face. It's
Yeah,
awful.
it really does cut down in the value of a noble lady.
That's not true at all. Why, with some excellent cosmetics and some other things, why, your hair is lovely. We could do wonders.
Perhaps a decorative face mask.
Makeover.
Oh, you already have it.
At this point,
Smart.
Marshall just goes.
Oh,
she gets
makeover.
like,
Yes,
let's just.
indeed, it's your turn
They're
to
doing
suffer.
girl stuff. Let's go.
That sounds most enjoyable, actually.
What?
We're going to put her in one of the dresses. She's going to look fabulous in a black corset.
I need to get leashes for all of you, so every time this is happening, you can just focus on talking to each other, and we could just keep walking. Just like the baby harnesses.
Should I just turn into a giant and just carry them? Be like, stop it. Like, kids,
Well,
come on.
I suppose.
Uncle Marshall says no.
Put the girls in the bag.
So before we move on from this directly, mechanically, because this is pretty neat, and I want to present you with the opportunities to do cool campaign-related things.
You?
I'm
You
listening.
all, if you wish to accept Nolly's offer and gain some teaching from her, have access to the Bellflower Tiller archetype,
Oh.
which is a dedication around, well, a lot of the skills that would be useful to Nolly as they are trying to escort slaves out of the region and to Andrew and the Eagles Decree can make sure that they are given a life of freedom.
Do any of
A
those
second
feats
chance.
let us turn sling stones into anti-aircraft shells?
They do not. But it's focused a lot on being fast, making your friends fast, and escaping and overcoming debilitations that hold, restrain, or slow you both for yourself and for your allies.
Honestly, that sounds very beneficiary
I
to
wouldn't
like
mind
a
looking
majority
at it.
of us.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably going to dip into Bastion dedication actually, so I could not get hit in the face as much as has been happening. But
I have
'Cause I
alchemy to
feel
do.
like I'm-
Shield more bigger.
yeah,
I mean, because I feel like I hit hard and take hits like a champ, but I'm slow as hell. So
It
I'm
would
not-
probably be pretty good to have.
I'm not slow at all.
the dedication does immediately make you faster.
I might take that offer.
And I will tell you just for your considerations
Okay.
the base level. If you want to invest in becoming a tiller, you will immediately and permanently get a +5 status bonus to your speed,
Ooh.
I definitely like this.
and you will get to it at all times. Select a crop of up to 6 other people that you're watching over, and while you're with your crop, while you're traveling in downtime or in exploration modes outside of like turn-by-turn combat, anybody who is slower than you is considered to be as fast as you.
Wow.
That's really useful,
wow.
especially if
Get your crop
wait.
somewhere that sucks less.
If that works the way I think it does, so you got like what 50 or 60 movement speed, as is.
Well, 40. but
If Eleanor would tell her, you would all be speed 70,000 outside of combat.
we get to reach it on one day.
Oh my god.
So with the so we have to.
Naruto running through the countryside.
So I know.
Going to Area 51.
So I know the crop is optional, but I already know that Marshall's just gonna pick potatoes. Just
No, the
standard.
crop is people.
The crop is the people.
Oh, I thought you meant. Wow.
They call it crop.
JT roll intelligence 0. Done.
Sounds very fitting. It sounds like Marshall to me.
You know what?
I don't know Marshall that well.
Potatoes.
Are you a root
Come
vegetable?
on, little potatoes. You're speed 30 now.
Well, everyone, it's official. I have literally become my character now.
Fast potato.
Literally a potato.
Thank you.
Anyway, as the group of you
I'm sorry, guys.
discussing
No, that was brilliant.
That was a
Thank you.
beautiful moment of misunderstanding. As the group of you make your way out of the Long Roads Coffee House,
Corn just hops on the ground, starts running.
jumps right out of its husk with some dumb little stick legs.
I'm the colonel
Leshy.
now.
I'm a corn leshy!
Oh my god.
I demand fan art.
I am the Vegemancer. None will stand against my crop.
Run, little vegetables, to freedom!
Halloween 1, shall we face down a pumpkin golem? Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
I'm okay with this.
How never has the Bellflower Network gone so wrong so quickly?
Anyway,
You head out as you're discussing. The sun's already setting, as Nali had said. Sunset is in its waning moments. The light is rapidly draining out from the sky, and the streets are clearing pretty quickly. But there is one clear, evident exception to this. As a massive, strange wagon has been set up in the crossroads where the street Long Roads Coffee House lets into connects to the main thoroughfare heading east-west throughout the Villegra region of the city. And quickly scurrying around it, tidying things, readying things, is a man that even in the waning light you can all easily recognize. Turn around. Ah! South Hartod, South Swordporium. Perfect. I got my coffee. Good news for everyone there. And since I recognized it was you lot that were in there, some men coming around Catargo for whatever reason, my good buddies, my best customers, my favorite customers, I rounded up the wagons. Post haste! To make sure there's anything South Hartod, South Swordporium could get for you.
All right, watch this. Watch this. Sal, do the wagon thing.
the wagon thing.
Sorry?
Do the wagon thing where we see all of your swords. We want the potion swords and the edible swords and the pokey swords and
Rosemary,
the
do you have
defensive
are you having a
swords.
stroke
I
right
feel
now?
like she's going a little bit insane.
No, do it.
I'm also a little confused about what exactly she's asking for. Not right positive
Marshall
what
was
a-
concerned.
We want
I
to
mean, I
see.
got all kinds of swords,
happening.
South Hartod, South Swordporium. I don't got much for edible or potion sword. I got drinkable swords, and he turns around and just
Wait, what?
What?
See.
opens a drawer on the side of the wagon, and lifts up a couple of flasks from inside, just kind of shows them and puts them back down.
Drinkable swords.
All kinds of different drinkable swords for all kinds of different business.
How do you drink a sword? I don't understand.
Well, it's very simple.
Go with it.
The containers of the liquid in that container is the sword itself, and you're just drinking it.
Real easy.
Very easy.
Now,
I get it.
buddy, resume, pal. Last time that we had met and had some discourse, did some fine business. South Sartod, South Swordporium. You lot showed a whole lot of an interest in sword buttons. So I have gone far and wide, exploring, collecting, putting together the greatest collection of sword buttons that the Inner Sea region has ever seen.
I am excited.
That said,
What's a sword button?
I will admit that to my shock, awe, and unending surprise, South Sartod of the very same South Swordporium has been shown up in his own game somehow. Did you know there was a Birdman who runs a store not far from here, southern end of this town?
The War Cage.
Across the last year. The War Cage, that was it.
Yeah.
A little Birdman, like a weird, upright black chicken kind of guy.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
He's got so much.
But Sal, he stays in one place, and South Sartod of South Swordporium, you go everywhere. You are everywhere you need to be. You are in all the places.
I can
He's only
promise
in
you-
one
I can promise
place.
you one thing. Here at South Sartod, South Swordporium, though I may not be able to amass a truly impressive collection that that weird chicken man has.
I feel like it's kind of offensive.
He's all right. He's quite literally like a standing chicken, like a bak-bagak kind of guy. He's got
mean-
little wing hands. He's got a beak.
I mean, I'm not.
He's a
I'm
Tengu.
not gonna argue.
That was the word he said. Right. It was a Tengu chicken man.
Even I know what that is.
Who.
He has flyable swords.
I can guarantee you, Sal Sartad, Sal Swordporium, guarantee that you will not beat our value or our deals. Guaranteed.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No, I just have to think real hard about the legal ramifications of that one.
Oh.
I've been told a couple of times in some of my Sal Sartad, Sal Swordporium sword shop guarantees on my various swords. Apparently, is a binding contract that carries some kind of a verbal weight. I don't know. It was a real bunch of fancy law words that Abadar man said to me. But apparently, I got to be more cautious with my Sal Sartad, Sal Swordporium guarantee, no guarantees.
That sounds like something that you don't have to worry about if you're on Absalom or something like that.
I was on Absalom, matter of fact, or at least whatever they call that island that Absalom sits on. I know it's not the whole thing's Absalom, though. The city itself was Absalom. They had a word for it, but it's islanded something or other. The island of shopping errands or something.
I'm not the person to go and answer that question, I'm afraid.
It was odd. Met a whole lot of weird folk in Absalom. It's a strange place. That is circus, actually. It was fantastic. Highly would recommend it. If you ever find yourself down in the Isle of Errands or whatever.
Given how our travel's been recently, you never know. We actually might.
We are a circus. I don't know what you're talking about.
But, though the light may be gone from the sky for today, light inside Sal Sartad, Sal Swordporium's Swordporium is always lit for his best customers.
Light.
Now, I don't... I was going to say I don't literally have a lantern,
I got you.
but that's spectacular.
You're welcome.
Buddy, resume is one of my favorite customers. Now, what can I do you for?
Sword buttons.
Sword buttons.
as you
today,
were saying.
Sword buttons. And he pulls open, just like slides two panels in the side of the wagon, and out slides a huge, it looks like a dry cleaner's rack,
Told you.
set with dozens upon dozens of swords, spears, hammers, bows, and quivers.
Oh my
that
God,
he
look at it
literally
go.
I
racks
told you.
around an inconceivable amount of weapons that could never possibly fit inside this wagon.
I think it's bigger on the inside than the outside.
Marshall immediately
Just like
is like
Sal.
a kid in a candy store.
Before he gets down to a small little teak wooden case that he pulls out, put them up here with the rest of the swords. So the sword buttons can stay with the swords they want to attach to. Pop this bad boy open right here, and he has a wide selection of rune stones. Now, previously, way back when, I met you lot back in somewhere, I believe it was Breach Hill, perhaps. When first come into contact with you, was passed through the region. Sold you a couple of sword buttons. I just made my way into the sword button trade. First thing I really discovered about him, I had a couple of real simple ones that were plain basic, the wizard man told me. He put on his fancy hat, he put on his fancy glasses, and he told me to my face. He said, Sal Sartad, you know what he said? Sal Sartad, these sword buttons are going to ensure that your sword, more balanced, lighter, sharper, faster, more agile, more of a sword than any of its competition. But you know what I found out later? He needs to have a talk with that lawman, that Abadar guy. Because that was not a Sal Sartad, Sal Swordporium guarantee. Because there are, in fact, better ones. Though they are... It was very expensive. I want to preface with that. These were ludicrously exorbitant. But for my best customers, any investment is worth it. And he pulls out a rune stone, which looks like it has something similar to a potency rune, but more extravagant, more detailed. Like the design itself has a strange radial symmetry in every layer in which you go. It somehow becomes denser. This, to my understanding, with the second wizard that I talked to, that this time is certainly a better wizard, is pretty much the same thing, but categorically better in every conceivable way. Faster, lighter, sharper, better, more of a sword. I only got one, because again, ridiculously expensive.
That looks like something that's quite impressive, actually.
Let me see.
I'm
By all means, buddy.
suddenly incredibly exhausted. I think I need to turn in.
So,
Well, wait a minute now. There's swords to be had.
That's never too late for a Sal Sartad, Sal Swordporium deal. Now, buddy, Buford resume, buddy, what is your name? I don't believe I've met you before.
She takes a step back. She does her courtesy. Eleanor Beatrice Rodrin Alianda. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I'm gonna call you buddy if that's all right with you.
Don't call me buddy.
He calls everyone buddy or resume.
That sounds like an awful, awful thing to do.
No.
You can call me Ella if you can remember that.
Buddy,
All right.
Asmus, buddy.
Whatever.
Oh, please don't say that. You're going to make me cry.
so, so do you happen to have anything for this?
That is quite a hefty ask. Ask. Both those things.
Marshall's dummy thick.
Ask.
just how I look when I try to think.
I must say, in all my travels, all the swords I've collected, I've never seen a sword of quite that.
It's an axe. It's
No.
a dwarven axe I made myself. It's
Double-bladed wide sword. Right, I'm familiar. I met with some dwarves in the Five Kings Mountains once before, and
Watching your eye twitch just now was magical.
they had a couple of those beautiful double-bladed wide swords back before, but I have never seen one of such magnitude.
well, it's because I'm a big guy and I need a big weapon.
Just kind of looks down.
It
Fair
does-
enough.
30 to identify.
That is going to be a symbol, a +2 potency rune. So it is a greater potency rune. It is exactly as he said. That is the Ye Olden +1 onto your +1.
Ooh.
Makes your +1 ear.
Oh.
This,
Plus one ear.
this is far more potent than your average potency rune.
You get a +1 and your +1.
I
like
do
plus
think this
ones.
is very useful. I think we shall need to purchase this for certain.
Now, as I said, that was a relatively exorbitant purchase that I had invested in there, hoping that you guys would be interested. And a lesser man, a lesser salesman, a lesser merchant that was not Sal Sartad, Sal Sorporium, would not let that go for less than 1,500 gold pieces. Obviously, we're not going to go quite that far. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You guys are my friends. You're my buddies. You're my best customers. I'm not going to get you 1,500. I'm not even going to get you 1,000. We're going to cut an entire digit off of that price for 999 gold pieces.
Sold. Well, we're going to have to do some trade, but
enough.
definitely sold.
Just
takes it out.
now.
But while we are speaking of ridiculous, egregious quantities of coinage, and also of extravagance, and the Five Kings Mountains, actually, your double-bladed wide sword reminded me of this thing that I had found. Actually, I got from a dwarven friend of mine way back when. It wasn't actually in the Five Kings Mountains. It was a dwarf exploring through Osirian, I believe it was. They had recently, did you know, fun fact, down in Osirian, somewhat recently, there wasn't a king. It wasn't a king. It wasn't a monarch. It wasn't a high imperial.
Bird?
Wasn't an emperor.
A
They had
warlord?
No, I don't remember what exactly they call it down in Osirian. It had a fancy name. Fancy
Pharaoh?
name for fancy men. I don't think so. Maybe. They had just allowed the unsealing of a whole lot of their ancient tombs, their pyramids. He'd been down there to explore. As an archaeologist of sorts, he said, for the Pathfinder Society. Doing some adventures. Talked about some weird animated statues and things he found down there. But he also made a spectacular deal with Sal Sartad, Sal Sorporium. And I had these before and I forgot about them. But I remember now, Marshall, Buddy Buford, my friend.
This sounds like tomb raiding, but with extra steps.
It is sanctioned tomb raiding, my good friend.
Fair enough.
The only kind worth doing.
He reaches into this compartment all the weapons are coming out of, like just kind of leaning back from the blades that are just dangling directly in front of his face. And reaches in and feels around a bit. No, not that. Hold on. And he pulls it up and he has about a half of a cantaloupe. Like that was the remainder of lunch, not what I'm after.
Ooh, I'm hungry. Can I have a piece?
Ah, that's right here. And a small wrapped package of a dark oiled leather, trimmed around the edge with a red stripe, about the size of a palm. He pulls it out, unfold that, take a look, tell me what you think. Now, my good friend, you have a spectacular beard, if I must say, and that's not even by human standards. For a dwarf, even.
Oh, thank you.
Those right there are something I got from that friend of mine. Similarly not cheap. He was very reticent to let go of them. You know me, Sal Sartad, Sal Sorporium. Never miss a deal. Never miss an opportunity. Those are Ancestral Beads. And what you have looking at is a couple of strings of fairly large beads cast of a variety of dark, coppery, brass metals.
And being a forged dwarf, I would probably recognize exactly what it's
Yeah,
made
a few
of.
of them are already arranged in designs, and each of these, they're fairly large beads and clamps that would go on there, as well as one thick, brass-bound kind of coil that doesn't wrap down elegantly or curved, but in geometric 45, 90-degree angles as it makes its way down. At the bottom is emblazoned with an upside-down hammer, the haft sticking up into the rest of the thing, and the head going out to either end of it. Now, those there, that is a terrifyingly good prospect for you, and it's for more than one reason, my good sir, because let me say that you are a terrifying gentleman.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
And it's not just because of that massive double-bladed wide sword that you're carting around, but those right there, they have got some latent magic packed into them. Now, this dwarven man, he told me he talked to a wizard one time, and he had them analyzed. He had them perused. He'd had them dissected as to what exactly they could do. And those beads, while not just looking absolutely fantastic with the whole painting that you got going on there, they are going to make you as terrifying as any man, woman, or giant monster beast has ever dreamed of being. And those right there, that is dramatic power.
Do you mind if I try them first before I buy them?
Absolutely. Now, I can tell you I have no idea how to get those into your beard, so I'm going to hope that you know how to do that one.
Oh, don't worry. I do it myself all the time. I just take a couple minutes to do it. All right. So how do I turn them on?
So there is that little thing that dwarven god hammer, that one guy that all the dwarves don't worship. If you grasp the bottom of that and you focus real hard, squeeze it on the sides just a little bit. But be careful, because wherever you're facing, bad stuff is about to happen to the people in front of you.
Okay, well, I take a couple steps back. Who wants to volunteer? All right.
I'll set for this. Let's see what happens.
All right. On the count of 30. 1, 2, beep.
As you kind of focus and squeeze it, nothing appears to happen to you, but who are you doing it?
Both of us.
Both of us.
Okay, fair enough. As it comes out, it is going to hit whichever of you is closer. And,
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Me.
Okay.
it's going to get Roshin. And you are going to see almost a phantasmal emanation out of Marshall. It's not something different. It's just the world around him seems to darken and disappear for a moment. And all you can see is Marshall, and the confusion and the interest he has in his face is immediately replaced with a dark rage. It is terrifying.
Ooh.
Make me a will save. This is a fear enchantment effect, if that matters to you.
I was about to say, am I allowed to add flavor to this?
You can do whatever you want, Chief. It's
So-
you got 'em on.
For this, I would think like my skin goes from like being normal to black and molten, and you even see like bits of lava peeling. My beard turns into absolute fire, and you see like uncomfortable like looking spikes and stuff just growing out of me.
You become the forge.
I become the forge.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Oh, wait, it can hit both of you, actually. Both of you make me will saves.
Hey.
Yep. So
Yay, I get to be terrified too!
so basically, future me.
I'm actually at -2 right now. 'cause
Past
still in the
resume
heart
has
for flying around
regret.
Give me some will saves.
30.
25.
Resume, you are, just mechanically for severity, you are frightened 1 with a 30, and you are frightened 2 with a 25.
Ooh, okay.
Resume will like start kind of getting sweat droppy on her face.
That's enough like overwhelming fear to be
Yeah.
debilitating. It's like it's immediately visible to everyone.
Yeah, and actually, Roshin's knees will kind of like get a little wobbly, and she'll kind of like stagger.
I
a
just
bit.
look at Trishik. I'm like, is it working?
Perhaps.
I'm a little nauseous.
Is your corset on too tight?
That's amazing.
I don't like it. Make it go away.
I try to blink and let go of that little hammer on my beard. I'm like, stop? Question mark?
Now the wizard did tell the dwarf who did tell me that particular magic latent in that activation, that particular power is. It's got to kind of well up. It's got to recharge itself. It only works approximately daily or so. But even outside of that, just bearing those, can you feel the magic? Can you feel the power?
I do feel a tingling in my face.
I kind of feel like I have to go to the bathroom.
I think there's one in the coffee house.
It's okay. Swallow it
Okay,
down.
well-
Swallow it down.
I appreciate it. How much?
Now that right there has been with me on my travels for about as long as I've been South Sartod, South Swordporium.
Oh, so he's eager to get rid of it then.
I don't know. I kind of got accustomed to the thing. It's not so much just this was a trade of friendship. That dwarf, I spent some time with him. We got to know each other. It was a good time.
Do you even remember his
Good
name?
comrade. I do not know, but what I can tell you
We still ever talk sometimes.
is if I let that go for less than 900 gold pieces, it'll be spitting in the face of the gift that he gave to me.
Marshall immediately digs into his pouch and
Got like 650 in the common. So if you can match it, if you can make up the rest.
You can't have it. Some of that money is mine.
I only have like 90 gold on me right now, so I probably won't be able to afford it then.
We will probably have to come back for it later. That's
He
sad.
slowly starts taking them out of his beard. Unfortunately, I'm a little short on cash at the moment. Could you put it to the side for me until I get some more?
Well, I have good news. That's been with me for years of my travels, and I imagine pending someone like you coming along to pick it up, it's going to be with me for years to come. Don't worry, buddy. Marshall, my friend, my favorite customer. Southsword Todd, Southsword Emporium. We got these beard swords in a special place for you.
Beard swords.
Incredibly exhausted. I don't know if the day is wearing on me or if it's the fight.
Marshall's just like sitting there confused, like, what?
Now, you would be able, I know that recently you have been on a wide amount of adventures and have acquired a wide amount of assorted +1 striking, various weapons, and general purpose loot that you don't want. Southsword Todd of Southsword Emporium is always happy to put forth some trades. So, you would be able to I assume you've been tracking the things that you have used.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got the whole spreadsheet.
You got the spreadsheet has been updated. Anything that you want to offload with him, pretty much without exception, unless it is particularly extravagantly strange, he is going to be able to find a place for. I don't know if you have any loot at the moment that is like books,
We do have some books.
But
magical trinkets.
Do we have? No, we
Did
don't. have
we
any
already
non-magical
sell-
books.
Less interested in
We
those.
do have non-magical.
the books
adamantine.
I'm keeping.
Right, but
That's
they're
the weapons.
weapons and
Weapons and
armor.
armor, so we'll always take.
Those are wedge swords and flat
Yep.
swords.
The books I'm keeping, so
Books
don't worry
he's not
about it.
interested in.
That's fine. I'm keeping them.
No, so there's the ritual book, which we are keeping because we don't trust the public with
But
it. But
also-
there is like the 9 volumes of Mahathala lore, how to be a
Yeah,
cultist.
not interested.
No. I'm
Yeah.
very interested in those.
Why are you interested in those?
For historical reasons, I want to study them later. You're not a nerd. You
Would.
don't understand.
Which is fine, because Sal doesn't want those anyway.
Okay.
But anything that's weapons,
not a
armor,
nerd.
potions, magical items.
Did we already sell the adamantine armor and the hand axe? Or
I think that's what we're doing right
this
now.
is what
that's
we're doing right now.
Doing right
like
now
the
is saying we
calculations,
wanna
I
get
did them
rid of
all
it.
ahead of time. Don't take up showtime
Right.
with it. But
And
Yeah, because we've pre-spreadsheeted, so we don't have to sit here and do a bunch of book math on values and
Gotcha,
whatnot for an
gotcha.
hour of our show.
I
And,
just couldn't remember. Sorry.
I'm keeping my dreamstone, but you don't have to keep yours if you don't want to.
oh no.
Oh wait, technically
I'll
I'm still
hold on to
wearing
it.
it.
Would he have corrosive long-range swords?
He would definitely have corrosive runes.
Corrosive arrow.
Corrosive arrows?
Yeah.
Let me-
It's a consumable. It just does 1d8 damage to armor, and if they're not wearing armor, it does it to them directly. Just a special
Let
arrow.
me take a look.
Are they expensive?
70 gold. I'm paying for it myself.
70 gold apiece?
each?
Yeah.
70 gold apiece. He would have 3 of those, yes?
I just want to buy one.
Okay, cool. He could absolutely give you one for 70 gold pieces.
That's just for my personal use.
And it just does a D8?
It does a d8 to armor, ignoring hardness.
Interesting.
Okay.
You put it on someone, they bleed, their armor starts
It
to
does
break, you come back
D8
later.
persistent damage to the
Oh,
armor.
Yeah.
persistent. That's a little better.
If they don't have any armor, you also put it to them. So it's either D8 persistent damage to
It's not 70 gold for a d8.
I was gonna
that
say,
would be
I was like-
ridiculous.
70 gold for 1 D8 damage. Pling.
It's like you might as well just like throw the coins at them.
Probably get more return for value because I mean you could throw 7,000 coppers at them. Certainly gonna add up to more than 1
Just
D8
put it in a
damage.
sock.
Or
just
better yet,
whack
just
somebody.
Beat 'em with a sock.
Or better yet, just fling one in the air and have Noli just go.
That's 7,000 nollie shots, so you can literally shoot money at people.
She could shoot Tannessen Tower down to the ground with it.
Yep.
Just
You know, I've done that before. It's actually more satisfying than you would think.
knocking a tower down with pennies.
No, shooting people with money.
That did not make less questions.
I'm incredibly
Telekinetic projectile
exhausted.
That's
has
fair.
very terrible applications if you get into it.
But with your spreadsheets, what all are we doing? You want
All
to
right.
give me the Cliff Notes version, here,
Sure.
comrade, because we prepped this in advance.
Cliff Notes version of this is going to be so for we're selling the Tasty Cauldron if you'll take it. If not, I'll sell it somewhere else.
He is a traveling man. He would get some use out of a tasty cauldron.
It's
That is
delicious.
a long-term investment.
It says so.
It says so.
It says so,
says so right
right there.
It's delicious.
We have 3 +1 flails, 3 braces of javelins, 2 +1 striking kukris. Also, I'm just listing all the loot. Some of those things are getting put elsewhere.
That's fine.
A single +2 potency rune, a +1 short bow, a +1 striking great club, 2 chain shirts, an adamantine battle axe, a ritual book that we're not selling, a +1 resilient adamantine breastplate, a sack of valuables from Cypress Point that we're going to be nice and not sell,
Yes.
Because we're not criminals.
And then we
Yet.
have Marshall's old potency rune +1 on his axe that he's replacing with that +2.
Yep.
Roshin's gonna walk out with a cold iron morning star, which is +1 in striking. So
Okay.
backup weapon. I'm tired of walloping things that are resistant to slashing.
Yeah. Are longswords not versatile piercing?
Longswords are, bastard swords are not.
Oh, right. Use a bastard sword.
'Cause
Yep,
I got-
that is
'cause I like
kind
to-
of slashing exclusive.
I
there.
like to two-hand it. There's no reason it's slashing exclusive except for game balance.
That's fair.
2 vials of silver sheen, which is, I guess, shiny sword paste. I'm going to transfer that extra resilient rune we have to my armor, so I'm keeping that one. I'd like to pick up 2 owlbear claws because I don't get weapon spec because oracles don't get that. And I'm keeping my dreamstone. Eleonora is going to keep one of those +1 striking kukris, stick a ghost touch rune on it because damn you ghosts.
I learned
Damn
quickly.
you ghosts. So, okay.
Do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah, if you get more, we're gonna cover all this for the audience's sake.
Oh yeah, there you go. So
And
we're
mine
gonna
also.
we're gonna take one of those extra striking runes, put it on your light hammer, which I guess you've also got runed up with other fancy things.
Yeah. Got a throwing hammer. That comes back.
Buddy also had a throwing hammer. It didn't come back.
Yeah, it was a sad point of
Usually throw it, and
contention.
it's gone for the rest of the fight.
But don't worry.
Silver sheen for you too, and then lots of healing potions, which are drinkable swords, drinkable
He does
healy swords,
definitely have
stitching
drinkable
swords, 5 lesser elixirs of life and 3 moderate elixirs of life. You promised me that you have uses for them, so there you go.
He's gonna hold you to that. He's gonna come for you if you don't have a good use for all those potions.
No, I'm just gonna go like, well, still got all those potions, eh?
Weirdo.
Why are you like this?
Why you like
We're
this?
keeping the potency rune +2 for Marshall, taking out the +1, selling that one. Resume, you're keeping the ritual book, keeping your dreamstone too. True Chic, we're buying you goggles of night if he has them. Eye cover swords, nighttime eye swords.
Goggles of night he would not have.
We can.
We'll
find
get those later.
somewhere.
You are in a major city though, so
And then a vanishing coin, which is an armor talisman, which he
We'd have an armor
may
talisman.
have.
We'll have an armor talisman.
Body sword button.
yeah.
Yeah,
And obviously the arrow that I paid for myself.
correct. And then your charisma.
Now,
which is
question:
not
You
on
are
the
aware
spreadsheet.
that moving these runes around takes a day of downtime, right?
It takes a day of downtime, which we're probably going to have somebody do for us, and also additional 10% of the cost of the rune, which is factored into my additional cost column of
We
the
have
spreadsheet.
3 people. We have 3 people capable of making the
I'm
crap.
sorry I questioned your spreadsheet, good sir. You
Squid.
No, nothing
Get
to
out.
apologize about. I get to actually,
out.
I get to discuss the features of my spreadsheet. This makes me very happy.
So what does that leave us left over with?
Cash-wise,
Yeah.
Well, before we started spending a bunch of stuff, we had we had surplus of 1,650 gold, 9 silver, and 5 copper. We just spent 909. We've just spent 999 on an additional +2 potency rune, which is going to go to our other party striker, I'd imagine.
Hi.
Hi, I hit people.
Hi. I do thing.
And this is just all social capital that I'm building up when I want myself a moderate sturdy shield. And she also give it to me.
Yep.
Just let you know how much we're spending on everybody else.
And as usual,
It's fair.
I don't need anything.
And as usual, the caster is just kind of like, you you
Hello.
frickin' people who need your
I bought
Imagine needing
gear.
magical items like a peasant.
I bought dresses. I'm happy.
Dresses. And there's also one other thing that I don't know if you factored into that actually.
The breastplate.
Ed, we're so glad to be caught up in time for Fire and Blood. We should start building up to that, giving me a villain point.
This
Is
is
the
why-
second villain point factored into your spreadsheet?
Can I get money for it?
No.
Then effectively, I suppose it is then.
Thank you.
Oh God, I love Microsoft Excel. It's so beautiful.
Technically, that's Google Sheets.
Yep.
Which is
Now, I was gonna say, when was the
almost as
last
good.
time somebody used Microsoft Excel?
Every
Every day.
What does it do that Google Sheets doesn't do?
Lots of stuff that
Everything.
you wouldn't think about until you need them.
Macros.
That's fair.
It does macros. There's actually a Visual Basic
I'm
editor built
You
into
can
positive
Microsoft
do
Google
Excel.
Sheets does
macros on-
They are
They have like
painful.
baby
They
step
have baby macros. They have like micros. Okay.
Anyway.
Micros.
You know what is
and
factored in the
macros.
spreadsheet? Roshin getting a hero
Oh.
point. I
Oh.
have none.
That's
All
not
do
on.
have none.
Gotta
That's
give
not
you
on the
one here.
spreadsheet.
It is now.
Here you go, buddy.
That's not Buddy. That's Roshin.
Take that.
It's Sal Sartar. He calls everybody buddy.
That's true.
Roshin, buddy. Dalrin. It's okay. I don't know if chat can see it, but we have, by the skull, in the background here. There's
Some-
no way they can make out what that is, because it's not in focus either. Because the focus.
Matter of
I just
fact,
put my hand under
There
it.
is a tiny miniature graveyard over there.
There is. There
very
is.
that has
Impressive.
3 miniatures in it right now.
because he has them and I want them, and there's still some money left over. Out of the party share, I want to get a second one of those corrosive arrows.
Sure.
70 more gold.
Did we already sell my breastplate? I don't remember.
We
Yeah.
totally, effectively, we have.
Okay.
We
Just
sold
make-
your
Well,
best.
actually, no. Salsa Triad bought it, so yes, we actually did.
Okay.
And no money, but here is a hero point, Roshin. Jayazo, throw another one in there, rewarding this man for his meticulous note taking. I maintain that there is. I have no idea because I sent you the picture, so I am aware of what. I just literally sent you a picture of your notebook so you could make this, which means that you apparently can read what's written in there.
I could read most of it.
That's because you guys are aliens. Anyone who can read his handwriting is an alien.
Technically, I don't read my handwriting. The squiggles just kind of tickle my brain to remind me what I was thinking about when I made
I
them.
feel like that's how written communication works.
Yeah, but it doesn't tickle other people's brains.
To be
just
fair,
mine.
I could kind of read it, but that's
Mine's
only because
not neat either.
Blade
But
Tiger
yours is legible. Like I can read yours. You just write like a kindergartner. Like Nix.
I was raised by
Look.
2 doctors, so
Blade
I had
Tiger
to
is
learn.
right. You come for the RPG gameplay, you stay for the spreadsheets.
2 perception Pathfinder experience. Wrapping all of that up, these exchanges taking probably the better part of at least half an hour with the sun well and truly set and night taking over. The crickets spreading their song throughout the streets as everything becomes fairly quiet around as everyone's heading to bed.
Oh, speaking of bed.
The group of you, I imagine, will be making your way back around to the Alulis Inn to rest, recuperate, and to plan.
It was a long day.
It was. It felt like it lasted weeks.
It
Following
really
them
did.
there. Wait a minute. You guys staying here too?
Oh, what a coincidence.
I've never seen y'all. How? What?
We haven't spent a lot of time inside, really. We've been wandering about the city, getting into trouble.
I can be invisible.
I do believe this is only second time I have used front door.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
But as the group of you walk into the entryway to the dining area where they've got the bar and a couple of tables set up, it's pretty largely empty at this point in night. Is this near the docks is fairly tourist. Your regular drinking crowd isn't really stopping into the hotel bar to get their alcohol. Usually is not how it goes. So it's actually pretty barren, save for one couple quietly conversing in the corner, and the barman behind the bar. Fairly large, bald-headed, tanned man with nothing, no hair visible, save for the eyebrows and one big old bushy mustache. Doesn't go much further down below his lips. Polishing off some glasses and work on it as a stack on the counter. He just looks up. Oh, hey, welcome back. Even. Oh, wait, one moment. One of you is whose name was this in? Yeah. Puts the mug down, picks up a ledger, puts it on the counter. Roshin?
Yes.
Message courier came by for you earlier.
Courier came by for me. Oh, fascinating. Let's see what they sent to me. Whoever it was.
Oh,
Who knows
maybe
I'm-
it's-
Who knows I'm here?
Maybe it's a love letter.
I suppose I haven't been exactly quiet with my activities. Anyway, so
Oh,
I'll
that's
open
what the
it.
couriers are for, trying to find people and drop off messages and whatnot.
Resume's going to unabashedly read it over your shoulder.
Fair enough.
As you open it up, it looks in kind of a explodes and you die.
Hair straight back.
You it's very brief, written in a sort of rushed, sketched hand that you wouldn't immediately recognize, but the sign at the bottom, of course, gets across who it's from. I have bad news, friends. Seems public sentiment in town isn't exactly in our favor right now, and perhaps my diplomatic mission is going to have to wait. I truly do appreciate your companionship and the journey here, helping me to arrive, and your assistance, and your, if nothing more, lending a kind ear. Perhaps our paths may cross again someday. Zaverick Blackcloak.
Ah, it's our ambassador friend. He's found the need to make himself scarce, it seems. Likely from all of the demons and devils kicking in the door to the city, trumpeting off about how Nadal is coming to take everybody away.
As the bartender, as he picks his glass back up, goes back to polish it. Oh, Nadal, you heard about that?
Yes, we were intimately involved.
Yes, indeed. Rumor gets around, you understand.
Rumor gets around real fast, especially when it's pertaining to something useful. It's cold iron, I tell you.
Cold iron?
Yes, cold iron.
What's cold iron? Well, I know what it is, but are we speaking metaphorically?
Oh, it's whatever this news is. Racking through about the dolls sending in devils and demons and whatnot to route through the streets, and I'm sure the town criers will be out about it tomorrow once they've had time to prepare their messages. It's all come back to cold iron. Fellerock. Lord Fellerock?
We're from out of town.
Oh, Lord Fellerock owns about damn near all the cold iron mines anywhere near Cantargo. Brings all the shipments in. War Cage, Red Banded Shield, Eyes and Arm. All of them get their cold iron from Lord Fellerock.
Ah, likely that's where this came from.
And what's good business for selling cold iron? Rumors of demons and devils and whatnot running through the streets, all I'm saying.
Huh.
You got to follow the money.
I like you very much. That is an excellent train of thought.
Wake up, Cantargo!
Perhaps would be worth looking into.
Yes, a suspicious man is worth his weight in gold. I'll actually flip him a silver.
Thank you, but it's my pleasure, really. Anything I can help, just you got to come at these things with some degree of a skeptical mind.
But most people don't.
You're a wise one, lass. All the words that are coming out of the town criers for anything are paid for by someone.
That's certainly true. May I ask you another question since you're here? Do you know of... Have you heard of the goings-on up on Kite Hill today?
I suspect that's what he's discussing about right now.
I haven't heard nothing about Kite Hill right specific.
That was what I was getting at.
Ah, fascinating.
Just got rumors of some kind of shadowy Nidalee army marching on the town, ready to throw demons all wet ways asunder. Nonsense. It's all cold iron.
It's all cold iron, as he says.
No, you have to follow the money.
Well, ever since Ravenel declared its independence and came through, it's not the Nidalee's empire that's really been suffering. They're not the ones that are really up in arms about it. But weapons, arms, and armor ain't selling half as well now, are they?
No, they're not.
The military-industrial complex. That
Well,
makes
Cheliax
perfect sense.
Cheliax works with devils quite frequently. They're large buyers of cold iron. And Fellerock needs to get his sales. Wants a lot to do with that as coin.
Starve. Look awful.
It's a great way to lose an entire imports business.
Cold iron.
All right. Well, I found myself incredibly exhausted.
Oh,
Good night, y'all.
Roisin, what's tomorrow?
Traipse off.
I've a bit lost track, actually.
Tomorrow's Sunday. Last of Goshen, I believe.
Oh, there you have it.
Tomorrow is not going to be a good day.
Can I get you a lot of drink before you head to bed? Taps are still on.
Marshall, will you share one with me?
I will
Sure,
have
I'll
two.
grab an entire barrel and drink it.
Pair of coppers each, I'll get you set with whatever you want, me lad.
Done. I'll get this round, you get the next.
Bah. Clinks glass.
Resume will throw down 4.
He pulls out a couple from his clean pile here. Fills them up from the ale tap he's got and lays them all out. The tourists coming into town in Cantargo up to business real awful late.
Well,
See you at night shows.
yeah, something of a start. Really tied up with business a bit. Weren't able to get in as soon as we'd like.
Ella comes back around. Can I get a bottle and a glass, shot glass for the room?
No!
Are you looking for a wine, a whiskey?
Whiskey.
Absolutely. Silver piece?
And she flips him one.
He pulls out a square, stout little bottle full of an amber liquid and a shot glass along with it up top of the cork. There you go, miss.
You know,
Eleonora.
drinking's always better with company if you're gonna be taking a spot of the pure with you.
I think I might just take it in private for now.
As you wish, but you have good taste.
If you ever change your mind, we're always good drinking buddies, I promise.
I believe you 100%. Tonight's not a good night.
I understand.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a good day.
I'm going to have to upgrade. I'll take 2 shots of whiskey as well.
Or do you want some of my
Rest, mate,
private stash?
you're moving awfully quickly. We need you clear-headed tomorrow.
I don't want to be clear-headed tomorrow particularly, but I suppose you're right.
We have an entire tower to kick the door in.
If they're-
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Tomorrow is never a good day.
So we're not kicking doors in?
No, we're going to be going to bed.
Oh. Marshall just gets sad as he drinks more of his beer.
Marshall, I want to talk to you.
What's that?
Well, we've been together for, probably not terribly long, maybe a week and a half.
Just dropping
Are
everything.
you all okay over there?
No, absolutely
me.
That
not.
was a serious
He's just dropping
difficulties.
everything, dude.
I'm just very fidgety
Whoa,
today, and I keep dropping
bus,
things.
derp.
Anyway, continue.
Well, you've told us your story back in the Dreamgate rest area, and I've seen you fight. I've seen a lot of men fight, actually, in my time. They all fight for different things, for the glory of the revolution. Some of them are fighting for revenge. And some men, they fight just because they want a way out. And your story is a tragedy one. It's one of tragedy, and I see the way you fight. You throw yourself into combat. Your story is very sad. Are you all right, Marshall?
Ah, as long as I got a full belly and some beer in my mug, I'm happy.
I've heard those lines before as well. Your father's... It can't be easy to have to put your own father down.
I know, but unfortunately I had to do what I had to do. He was a monster, more than me.
That being said, I'm not sure if I'd had the stomach to do it myself if that were the case. All I'm saying is, there are people who care about you, Marshall. You have to take care of yourself.
Ah, I appreciate it. I wouldn't make those clan daggers for our family if I didn't think so as well.
It makes me happy to be carrying one. It makes me feel better about you.
Good. I'm glad he just puts his arm over you. Now come on! Pulls out his private drinking horn like, let's get this party started, eh?
You're a good man, Marshall.
Marshall, if you're going to get inebriated, you should let me get inebriated with you.
Pour up a glass, Missy. I'll pour you some too.
Rosemary, you're already there. I could basically push you off the bar stool right now.
And he looks over at Trishik. Trishik, you want a piece of this?
Not for tonight. We'll be doing important things tomorrow.
I'll be holding your hair at this rate.
Don't be a
if you keep it
scaredy,
up.
just little...
I can see two of me.
Right, so we're gonna switch to water.
He just puts a cup on the table.
You know, there used to be two of me.
I'm going to move.
Every time I looked down, I would see two. And now there's only one. It's very sad.
What happened?
My brother died.
I'm very sorry.
He was my twin.
Oh. I'm sorry, Missy.
Yeah. It was... Well, it happened twice, which I think is vastly unfair. I think I should only have to mourn once, if you know what I mean. I mean, you lose someone, and they're gone, and then they're back, and then they're gone again.
Quick question for you, Missy. Was your brother, was he a fancy, magic user like yourself, or...
Well, he wasn't really a person, per se. He was more like... It's very complicated. Suffice to say, yes, he was a druid.
Oh, I've run into a couple of those. One turned into a bear and wrestled me. It was fun.
He used to be able to turn into, well, many things, really. But mostly he was just my best friend. And now he's gone and I'm always alone. I mean, I know I'm with you all, but it feels like I'm alone, and I don't like it.
Well, let me tell you from personal experience. He sets down his mug, starts digging in his pocket, pulls out these very worn out looking beads with a couple of gray and brown hairs still in them. You know what this is?
Those look like they came out of someone's head.
Those are the beads from my mother's weaves.
Oh.
I hold on to them dear after she got slaughtered by my monster of a father. And you know what I remember? No matter how much I miss her, I know she's always in here. And that's all that matters.
Well, that's the problem. He was in here, and now he's not. He's nowhere. He's a tree, she'll say, and then she'll pass right out on the table.
Marshall just backs up from goes.
I'd have to be holding her hair in the middle of the night. He doesn't know it. Poor girl.
Should I carry her to her room then?
I guess we'd better.
I carefully throw her over my shoulder and just walk.
Carefully throw.
Roisin will steady her as you're walking up the stairs.
I'm a barbarian. That's what I do.
Do you think your brother's actually a tree, or do you think that was a druidy metaphor?
No, I believe it. Like I said, one of my good friends was a druid. and he turned into lots of weird things. Lots of weird things.
Believe from what I've seen, he was indeed a physical tree.
Perhaps she just needs a. Maybe she just needs a memento to carry around for a bit. She carries a lot of mementos with her.
Don't
a
get
lot
her
of
a sapling.
a lot of lost companions. Well, maybe I don't know. What kind of tree is it? Does it have pine cones?
I don't know. It depends on the druid, I think.
Does it have fruit? Do any apples grow
I don't
on
know.
it?
Well, I can tell you one thing. My one friend, who was a druid that I used to pal around with and grow up with, he was a gnome. He was a gnome druid. His name was Birch, and
Was his name actually Birch?
Yes, his name was actually Birch, and ironically, he did turn into a birch tree at one
course he
point,
did.
just to prove that he could. Just cause, no reason. I'm like, why? But then, like I said, he was a very strange individual, but very useful in effect.
I'm positive he named himself Birch just after the fact, once he realized he could turn into a birch tree.
He said he was a little, okay, you think I'm crazy, but he was raised by a pack of squirrels, so.
It does sound like a druid.
Huh.
So,
They are a bit nutty.
the group of you.
Did you think I wasn't gonna say it?
I tried to stop it.
I'm incredibly exhausted in the other room.
He's just dead. They're just flying.
I was about to say, I thought you were in bed already by now.
Oh, no. You're going to make your way up to your rooms, helping Resme as necessary, at least lay her down. The rest for the evening. To awaken the following morning on a moon day, not even Sunday. It's a day later than the barkeep thinks it is.
Oh.
Okay.
Not
Maybe
to-
he's been accessing
also-
his taps a little too much.
Yeah, there you go. Also, not to hijack more stuff, but just in the middle of the night, actually, Roshin will just kind of get up and just take her dreamstone off and put it to the side and take the clear remnants of the heartstone and just kind of hold those to her, hold it to her as she goes to sleep.
Interesting.
Maybe a bit regretful that her one contact with her mother was gone so quickly.
Oh. Here.
And Resme, why don't you make me a will save?
Sure.
You little drunkard.
Although I also have a dreamstone on me, so I don't have to make that much. I don't have to get that much sleep.
That is true.
You could just
You know,
hear
it's like,
partial
what, 2
snoring
hours?
throughout the
Yeah,
it's only
entire
2
It's only 2 hours.
Make me a will save.
That's gonna be a 21.
21. As you rest, this is the first time Resme's like really gone in on the drinking, and it
It
hits
survived.
pretty hard. Not even the power of the Dreamstone can penetrate the mire that is Resme's consciousness at this point.
Jeez.
And you basically lay down. Well, you pass out a bar to nothing. No dreams, no thoughts, nothing. It's not even like a snap, your eyes are closed, it's the next morning. So much as you actually feel like you are just sat in an infinite void, in this morass of just darkness. Immobile, unthinking, stuck. This feels like it could have lasted days, weeks, even, before finally the split in that darkness. Side of your pillow finally shows up in your vision as you awaken the next morning. Utterly exhausted. You're not sure whether drinking is just the worst idea you ever had. If that was something else entirely. You are fatigued.
Resme will awaken, and her pillow will be wet, and there will be tear streaks on her cheeks, and she'll just kind of brush them away. For the first time when she wakes up that you've ever seen, like, she usually wakes up looking like she went to sleep a supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just wakes up and her makeup is perfect and everything looks amazing and her hair and her skin are all shiny. Resme looks like she crawled through the mud and a desert and didn't drink anything, and she looks dehydrated and there are bags under her eyes. And she wakes up. And she looks awful. Oh, happy birthday to me.
Yes, happy birthday to you indeed. Drink some water next time before you pass out.
I guess I'm 20 now.
Happy birthday to Resme.
I know what to cure this. He pulls
God,
out a
I
giant
hate my
plate.
birthday.
Just assorted like bacon, ham, breads, cheeses.
I'm going to... She'll run.
I'm gonna go hold her hair.
Well, I'm not gonna let this go to waste. Oh.
Mage hand holds my own hair. It's the one benefit of being a
Magic and everything.
sorcerer.
Can you enunciate in time before...
So, difficult morning notwithstanding, what are your plans for the day, party?
Well,
And I want to move some runes around. Every rune you want to move is a day of crafting for someone.
Well,
I've got to go buy some goggles and take Marshall by the constabulary and then get to crafting. Because I've got to transfer some rings.
Transferring a rune is a downtime activity that is your day. Like that is
I don't have like an hour.
that is what you are doing. Because if we are doing downtime, we'll transition over to downtime mode, and your downtime activity for today will be moving a rune. If we want to move those runes today.
Well, I guess we're moving runes today then.
yep. I was about to say, I think we already put the other rune on my axe, right? Because we sold the old one. Then we already.
We have the new one,
Yeah.
but you need to do the swap.
Oh, okay.
Mechanically, perhaps you would have done that. This is an exchange you'll make with Celsar Todd later because it's going to take the day to trade them.
Okay.
So also, it's probably on your spreadsheet, the 10% of the cost of the rune for anything you're moving. It's not coming from a rune stone.
Yep.
So, Trishik is going to spend today upgrading the potency of Marshall's axe.
Someone else can just go buy the
I was about
goggles
to say
for
I
me.
can do it myself too, can't I?
Yeah, well,
Do you
we
feel-
have
I
more
think
than
it's
one
crafting.
rune.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we
that
need
makes
to
sense.
transfer.
Duh. My bad.
So I've got to put one on yours if you wanted, or if you wanted to do your own, and I could get started on one of yours.
Yeah, I'll do my
And
own
you
because
Okay.
could help with that because there's two different weapons we got to work on.
So Marshall will work to transfer the runes onto his own axe. Trishik will try and get that potency rune onto Eleonora's sword.
And I guess I'll take the other one.
Okay, and so
I need a resiliency rune transferred onto my armor.
runes. Are you a crafter at all?
I am not.
Are you a crafter at all?
No.
So it
We have
sounds like
three
you have 3 crafters and more
I was
than
about to
3
say, I
runes
craft
that
too,
you're wanting
so-
to move.
It seems like we need to make use of some of the city's fine craftsmen to go and transfer these runes for us.
That is something that the two of you could absolutely do. Going into town, finding the goggles for Trishik, spending the day trying to source exactly what he wants.
I need to fix my shield too. It's
trying to
still
get
busted.
your shield fixed.
I could do
trying
that
to
with
get
a little bit of work.
the stuff transitioned over.
That's
So
gonna-
you'll be going through the streets of Cantargo on business. So as Rasheen and Eleonora are going to head into town, we'll just go around the table with the crafting checks first. Trishik, after a moon day's work, transferring a potency rune, give me your crafting check.
That's 17.
Yeah. 33.
For the 33, you would fairly easily, you are quite an accomplished craftsman, be able to, or you're not doing the axe, you're doing Eleanor's sword.
Sword.
So you're
Yeah.
leaving your sword with him as you go
Yep,
into town.
Yeah.
You would be able to pretty easily get that potency upgrade onto Eleanor's blade. There's now a +2 striking Elven Curve Sword. Marshall, you want to give me yours, turn upgrade your own axe.
That's yeah.
Is that a 1?
That's a 1 and a session reroll.
you learned. Much better. That's going to be a. Where's my crafting?
It's under the seas.
28. I can math.
28. You're more smithing, forging, moving runes is sometimes a part of that, but it's not so much your specialty. That
Yeah.
said, you are no slouch. You are also able to get the +2 potency rune.
Yeah. It takes me a little extra work to do it, but I
get the
it done.
runes swapped. So for both of you, you would have a +1 striking rune on the weapon that you pulled it off of, or the other one came on a rune stone, so on a rune stone.
Because I think I gave my old one that was on my axe to one of you guys.
No, like selling that could be part of what they do.
Oh, yeah, never
yeah,
mind.
we sold it. We didn't.
Okay, never mind.
I kept the resiliency, the extra resiliency rune off
Right,
the
right,
atomizer
right.
mostly.
And Resume, what are you working towards?
I guess I was doing the one into the yours.
You could do the
You can
plus
do either
1
Eleanor's
into the.
hammer.
I'll do
or
Eleanor's
resiliency
hammer.
Yeah, Eleanor's hammer.
I'll do Eleanor's hammer. That's
Okay.
fine.
This is just a +1.
Because I'm hammered, so it makes sense.
This is literally just a +1 potency, and I'm not
It's a
positive you should.
That
striking rune.
is very nice.
Oh, it's striking?
Yeah.
Oh, you okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Even
going to
still.
be a...
I'm not convinced you can fail this.
it's a 36.
Yeah, it's striking. That's almost a double critical success. Striking is like a 3rd level runes. I'm like, I'm pretty sure like they had the big rolls. The +2 potency runes are big boy runes.
Yeah.
That one, those are intricate, difficult to work with, and definitely far more complex than any rune that either of you have ever worked with before.
As a master craftsman, it was no tough challenge.
No, yeah, you did you cleared it. Not by like a huge. You didn't critically succeed, but you did clear it. You barely got in there.
Yeah, I know.
And Roisin and Eleanor will head into town to use the services of the good city of Kintargo to repair your shield, apply a rune to your armor, and
Ghost touch to my kukri.
ghost touch to your kukri, and pick up some goggles for Trishik. Just head out into the streets and towards the grander markets more on the eastern side of town. So
Would I have enough time after I switch my runes over to go meet up with was it Noi that I would meet up with to pick up the spear possibly, or do I have to?
You just need to go with anybody who has a face.
I think we can probably pick it up for you.
Constabulatory 2, also
Yeah.
a place we can go.
Okay, that works.
As you head out and take the main thoroughfare east through Kintargo towards the main markets closer to the bridge on the other side of town, you do pass pretty quickly a town crier standing at one of the major intersections of the docks. Actually, not far
Devils
from Sunset.
here, get your devils here.
Not far from Sunset Imports, ringing a bell, calling out to all who listen. Hear ye, hear ye! The good people of Kintargo heed this public safety message from the Silver Council. Avoid the deepest shadows. The grasps of Nadal reach down to snuff the new light of freedom we have lit in our fair city. Protect yourselves, protect your loved ones. Be cautious of the teachings of Zon Kuthon or any allied with him who bear the blessings of Nadal and its umbral courts. And this goes on for some time through the...
I'm with you. Cold iron.
Cold iron. I'm incredibly exhausted again.
as you make your way out to get some work done. So you have to pay 10% of the runes cost to swap it. If
Yep.
you're going to pay somebody to do it, it's going to be another 10%.
Okay.
So you're basically paying 20% of the runes cost to have somebody move it.
Actually, that's not true. 10% and then another 10% again is not 20%.
It's an additional 10%
It is if
of
it's
the
additively.
base. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not 10%.
Because the difficulty of the
10%.
the difficulty of the task is determined on the.
Oh,
runes,
so
it's
you're
not
it's
the flat
you're
rate.
doing additive. You're not doing 10%.
10% and 10%. So
Okay.
another just like basically double whatever that fee was for the
Got it.
ghost touch and for the resilient rune.
So Ghost Touch is actually flat out purchased, which will come on a rune stone. So there's no.
So you're only paying the 10%.
We're only
for
paying the 10%.
for the business, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. That's
For the service, rather.
7.5. Transfer resilient rune. That's a 34. So 34 plus 7.5, 41.5. Any other thing we have to do today?
Getting your shield repaired is just gonna be a few silvers,
Okay, so
like
42.
literally 2 silver.
Okay, so
Okay.
42 gold, and we're set.
I'm glad someone's good at math.
Now, there's also the goggles that you wanted.
150. That's already factored in.
Okay, cool. That's already factored in.
Yep.
Then, all right, and you will be able to pick those up fairly easily. Those are not a very high level, fairly common item.
Nice.
Wouldn't be hard to find in the great markets of Kintargo.
5th level item. Nothing special.
And finally, you would stop by the constabulatory. Coming inside the building with the entryway flanked with pretty large white pillars with a single stripe of thick silver up the front of each of them, flanking an ornate oaken doorway. You head inside to a very large atrium with plentiful seating along the walls, strangely shaped, almost rounded, octagonal, around a large central desk, sectioned into various partitions, staffed by different workers within the area. And the visitors is immediately at the first. You would approach and inquire into the state of the spear. You would learn a few things, as they would easily be able to verify through the guard stories and the guards who had been on site yesterday that you are in fact the people who were there, and well, that you're not some kind of Shadow to Doll operative here. The spear was recovered. It is a gigantic long spear. And while it is constantly still holds a bit of chill touch to it, the metal is always cold. I haven't tried exposing it to flame or anything. They have had one of their mages look it over. It does actually appear to be non-magical. Whatever an enchantment is clinging to it, they believe is a latent effect of the devil that had bore it, rather than any native magic of the spear itself. They will not give it to you, but it does not seem like it's. I mean, it is a large long spear. If you wanted a large long spear, that's not. You go, the war cage and get that pretty easily. It does not natively have that ice magic.
Darn. Oh well. I figured I'd try at least.
And after a day of crafting, a day of repair and work throughout Kintargo,
A day of successful crafting.
day of successful crafting. Yeah, all
It could have been a
successes.
completely
All
wasted.
successes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually not confident you were both going to succeed at moving +2 potency runes, but you did good. The group of you, I imagine, can reconvene once more to rest for a final night, and this toil day, perhaps, brings us to Tannessen Tower.
But you know what else it brings us to? Our midstream break.
Absolutely correct. When you slept this evening, readying your spells and preparing your magic to siege whatever the holdings of the Scarlet Triad here in the city are. Also, would you stop by Lady Gora's school at all, or you just kind of, she'll be fine.
I don't.
We would have definitely checked in
Yeah.
at least. We were busy with most of the day, but we would have at
Roisin
least.
completely forgot about that.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
I was-
Resume
maybe they
probably
did, but
wouldn't have taken as long as they
Me
would
and
because I'm
Eleanor
just
probably did not go.
I'm doing a very simple rune and I got like almost a double critical success.
It
I'm
is
fairly
near the
certain I had a
academy.
moment.
You could certainly stop by there before you went into the tower proper. It doesn't hardly add anything to your journey. You would sleep, ready yourselves, resume again, even without drinking. Your night would be dreamless, this strange black sleep, and you would awaken the following morning, again fatigued.
Hey, Roisin.
Oh, you look awful again. You haven't been drinking in the middle of the night, did you?
No, I don't think it's that. My soul doesn't feel right.
Well, your face doesn't look right either. And I love you, but
I appreciate your honesty, dear friend.
Take a break.
Hey, you know what sucks? Your face!
You know, I'm feeling real depressed. Your face looks depressed too.
Feel free to stand up, refill your drink, stretch your legs.
Yep.
We're gonna run to the bathroom, get some snacks.
Enjoy past shenanigans of ours.
In a couple of minutes, everybody, don't go too far, because when we return, we have stuff to do.
Yes.
We're gonna check in with the school before we head up with the bigger school
Reapply our
Tannessen
mascara.
and see what kind of business we can get up to with the Scarlet Triad. We'll be right back, everybody. Here's some highlights of our past stupid ideas. So,
Roisin, I haven't been sleeping very well.
I can see that. At first, I thought it was just because, anniversary of your brother's death or something like that, but,
Nope, birth. Twins. My birthday's his birthday.
oh, of course. Well, at any rate, it doesn't explain the day after. You weren't even drinking.
No, I was just crafting all day.
I suppose that could be a bit exhausting, but,
It's not exhausting compared to what we normally do, and I normally sleep just fine.
Hold still a moment. Roisin's going to cast Read Aura and try to take a look at her to see if there's something weird going on. Because that's weird that it's kind of hit her out of nowhere today.
okay. That's fair. Why don't you hit me with a perception check?
Don't hit him with the die.
It's pretty good. That's a 34.
A 34. Resume is a sorcerer. She has literal magic in her blood. And it's... If there's any other kind of aura that is over her, anything hanging over her or infecting her, it's not obvious. You don't immediately detect any sort of latent auras or spells or magic that could be causing this. And the fatigue itself appears to be entirely natural, entirely physical. There's nothing, as you're reading Aura and kind of inspecting her, you can see all the telltale signs that she's just not getting a good night's sleep. It's not like it's a magically imbued. Like, there's no fatigue here to be dispelled. She just didn't sleep well. She's tired.
Resume. Just looks like you haven't been getting a good night's sleep. That extra dreamstone you had. Have you tried sleeping with that?
I always sleep with it. That's why I'm so confused. I haven't had a bad night's sleep since I started sleeping with it.
Well, my stone seems to be working just fine.
I don't know, maybe I got myself into a funk thinking about things I can't change. I don't usually, but
I mean, there's one thing to be in a bad attitude, in a bad place in your head, but the magic of the Dreamstone, Desna's people went and put that together. It's the Lady of Dreams herself is supposed to make sure you get a good night's sleep if you have that thing. So, look, all I'm saying is that mine seem to work just fine. Why don't you try sleeping with this one?
maybe. Or maybe it just can't counter losing almost every friend you've ever had in a period of a couple of days.
Resume, I've buried a lot of friends and family in my time. I can still get a good night's sleep with these things.
All right, I guess we can try switching. Maybe this one just doesn't like me anymore. Maybe it's not my color.
I always thought of you more of a blue type of person anyway.
Oh, thanks. You're a good sister.
Maybe I can be.
I've never had a sister before, you know. I have all brothers.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Well, I've never had a younger sister before.
Well,
I was the youngest of the family.
we're very troublesome.
Just shows up in the middle.
I
of
can
our-
tell. I just have to give you my dreamstone.
Not give, trade.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. I'll take your dreamstone, which is clearly not working anymore.
Now I feel bad.
Very broken dreamstone.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. I'll be fine. I'll be a little sleepy today, but we'll be fine.
We'll need your wits about you when we're kicking the door to that tower, but
I've got some magic here and some drinks that I can throw back that'll pep me up right quick.
yes, coffee. I know you're very proud of it.
No. Alchemy, my dear girl. Alchemy.
Nothing can convince me that coffee isn't just alchemy with a fancier title on it.
You know, alcohol is, coffee is not.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
Where's the lie?
There's the lie. There's the lie. Well, with your runes moved around, a little more investment in some new items, a new ghost touch rune applied, and as ready as you're, well, we're largely going to be, it seems. The problem of fatigue is just going to have to be something, unless you want to put this off yet longer. That's going to have to...
Cut away to halflings getting beaten in the sack.
Oh,
We'll be fine. One more day.
Trying to hold the sack up the stairs, they drop it, and just rolls away back down 8 flights of stairs. What is the plan, friends? You have 2 steps, I believe, that
The academy.
yeah, there's the school and the other school.
The finishing school and
The
the,
finishing
academy.
school.
I mean, yeah.
One of them's going to become the finishing school for sure today.
Well, I suppose we should just stop by the finishing school, speak to the headmistress. Perhaps we can coordinate something. But at the very least, we should let her know what our plans are. And then, aside from that, I imagine the campus is an open one. We can just waltz in like we own the place, kick the door down. If it's as lightly occupied as Ash was saying, we shouldn't have any issue, I think, walking in there like we own the place.
I mean, we could own the place if we
I don't-
wanted to.
I think you misunderstand how much cash we actually have
I
on
don't-
stash.
I don't believe
say
if you're
with
walking
cash.
in like you own the place, you ain't kicking the door down. You open it up like you own the place.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's a very
I
good
could
point.
quite literally open any door I want.
But kicking a door is an option. I'm just saying.
I won't argue. It's a very satisfying
You get a
option.
visceral thrill when you kick a door in.
And nothing's scarier than the madam of that school, so I think we're getting the more terrifying prospect out of the way early.
She does have an unsettling air about her.
Oh, that's just elves in general.
No,
I'm ready with this.
I mean, they're nice folk, but something about their eyes just ain't quite right.
Pathfinder elves are horrifying. And no one will ever
I
convince
love them.
otherwise.
In
I
all honesty,
love them so much.
I can never tell if they're actually looking at me or not.
they're always looking
They
at
literally
you.
do not have pupils, so yeah, there's
No, she does have
They don't-
pupils.
they
She's a
don't-
schoolmistress.
They don't have pupils and they don't have
I knew it
sclera,
was
so...
coming. I set it
Oh.
up. You started talking. And I was already face palming. I knew what I'd done. I
The
recognized
perfect,
my
the
mistake.
easiest setup.
Whoosh.
Yeah, I just like set out the tee. I'm like, all right, here you go, Jen. Big old wiffle ball. So, the group of you gather your things, new weapons and arms, and ready as you're going to be. You make your way through the streets of Kintargo, back to Lady Glura's School for Girls. Heading back up once more to the visitor's entrance, and ringing the bell there. The door is answered by what appears to be the same woman it had been a few days prior, who, recognizing you briefly, welcomes you in, takes you to that same waiting area, and excuses herself to fetch the headmistress. And within 2 minutes of arriving at the front door of the school, Lady Gorok herself comes back to the door, flanked again by a pair of half-elven students. They don't look like the same people they were originally, but trio enter. Her dressed in much the same she had, looking almost as if it could have been returning an hour later rather than 2 or 3 days. Goes across the group of you, bows her head. I will admit, I had been wondering if your tasks had called you elsewhere, or perhaps had borne sour fruit.
We simply had to get up after gaining new information. We have learned where they have been operating.
Of course. There's no rush on my end here. Things are still very well and easily handled. But I have eagerly awaited, with admittedly open curiosity, what you have found and what you intend to do.
That's only fair as we go and bring into the loop, after all. Indeed, unfortunately, when we arrived, the Triad had already been there. Many had managed to get away, but unfortunately, it seems that a number of the staff were captured. Miss Marchesa was able to fill us in on the details of the attack, whom I believe we gave to Nali's capable hands. We had briefly recommended her bringing her here for safekeeping, but judging from your expression, or lack thereof, I'm not entirely sure if she ever made it here. Perhaps Nali found her own way of taking care of her.
Nali has plenty of safe houses spread throughout the town of Kintargo, as well as several of her own personal domiciles. I'm sure if you left Marchesa in her capable hands, they are both more than fine.
Makes sense. Slavery free network? Is that what you call it? Anyway, Bellflower Network. They have a lot of safe houses.
Abolitionists, I believe, is the word that they use.
Abolitionists. New word every day.
But semantics notwithstanding, I had suspected that your information may be exactly what it is. Longroad's Coffee House and Miss Dranio Drought, who runs it and operates the safe houses there, facilitating the movements of their escapees, their fugitives. She is a friendly and capable sort, but not one for a conflict. Not so direct. If these 3 men that had arrived here had simply pulled the lot to head to the Longroad's Coffee House instead, I'm sure they would have found their skills more than capable. It is unfortunate, but not unexpected.
They also had a couple of oddities left in coffee shop. There was Spectre of, what was his name?
Oh, it was Thrune, House Barcelai Thrune, Ghost thereof. Although, strangely, there are 2 of them. Almost identical copies. So I'm not entirely convinced that it's, in fact, the actual ghost of the former ruler of this place, but likely a shade that may bear some resemblance.
It seems very possible, given what we know so far, that it is in fact even a manifestation of magic conjured up to prey on the fears of the people of Kintargo and Ravenel. The name Barzillai still holds great weight within the city walls, and throughout this nation even.
They seem to be manipulating public sentiment in multiple ways, both with Nadal and the specter of Barzillai Thrune. It seems like they're using the freedom of the people here as a emotional prod, a fulcrum.
It is interesting, and it bears more tell to their motives than they may expect. Were they simply here to run a slavery operation? Nothing involved in that would truly benefit from such wide-scale distraction tactics.
I was thinking that too.
What they seem to be aiming to do is to sow chaos into Kintargo as a whole, something that would certainly not benefit their operations. The question then remains, what is it they're truly after?
I don't know, but their last enterprise involved obtaining a specific type of gold, a substance. They seem to have overreaching goals that we're not very clear on what they are, but we've run into them on several different occasions, and each time they seem to be dipping their foot into a different pool, so to speak, but I'm not sure with what intention.
Well, I've done some investigation of my own. I haven't bothered to try to interrogate our captives, as I find that the words spilled from circumstances such as these are frequently less than reliable. And they do seem to run a fairly efficient operation here. They must have access to at least one relatively competent mage of some kind, both to contact and enlist the assistance of such a powerful devil as I hear arrived in Kite Hill some days prior, and to perhaps conjure and control these specters, these echoes of the late Barzillai Thrune, if that is truly what is happening.
They had a pair of demons as well. A very powerful pair.
And yet more credence to the theory, then. The one pulling the strings either is a powerful sorcerer themselves, or at least have the employ of one.
Are you familiar with powerful sorcerers? Just out of curiosity.
I have a touch of magic in my blood, as I believe all elves do to some extent.
Well, the reason I ask, we have a description and we have a few names as well. There's one by the name of Varus. I don't know if you necessarily know that one, but apparently is a boss of the Triad in the area, a gnoll of some sort. But no indication of any particular magics about that one. However, there is apparently a tall man in robes who has a golden tint to the skin. Seems rather, I suppose, unique enough that it might jog your memory if ever you've seen him.
Interesting description. That could lend itself either to someone from the nations of Rahadum or Thuvia, the desert to the south, or as far as an Asamar. Not terribly descriptive, but
And they are
Make an
working with
ask.
Rakshasa.
they have Rakshasa with them.
Well, they had Rakshasa. Perhaps they have more, but they have 2 less than they had originally.
That's a group of you who can overcome a pair of Rakshasa. Those are powerful spirits. It's impressive indeed.
But I thought it might be pertinent information given the geographical interest.
Geographical interest.
Well, Rakshasa aren't from around here, are they?
I suppose that is a truth, as much as plain as can be. They are not native to our plane, even our dimension. Rakshasa are spirits from a realm far darker and evil than this one.
It just, what I don't understand is why they seem to be picking and choosing their allies very carefully to cultivate fear, manipulation, terror, and they're doing it in a very particular manner, in very specific situations, which seem to use those talents to their best effect. It leads me to believe that there is some overall intention, and we just don't have enough information.
Well, my offer and my recommendation for how we proceed from here still stands. We have 3 of their number captive. They've been here for some days. They're in fair health, but I am sure they are more than happy to return back to safety. If they are not Kintargo natives, which I believe they are not, that may lead you to more of them, and perhaps where you can find information.
We did figure out they have a base in tower at the Institute.
Tannessen Tower.
Tannessen Tower.
It appears it was abandoned, left there. No school, no people. Good place to set up.
It shares much of its history with that of the Alabaster Academy itself. There's no need for a drawn-out background, but Tannessen Tower, for the time being, is simply abandoned. It's closed. The family that sponsored it has fallen out of favor here in Ravenel and withdrawn their funding. I believe it was being converted to alchemical laboratories for study.
It does appear that it has been converted to a slaver's hideout.
It would make sense. Someone that near anyone could fairly easily come and go without much suspicion and nearly zero chance of interruption. Though not a base that would have terrible permanence. That tells us that their goals here are temporary and brief.
Given how they seem to be interested in causing as much chaos as possible with spreading rumor of Ndal letting devils rampage throughout the streets, it seems that this is not simply a local operation. The Triad itself is far-reaching across the entire planet. If this one city has any kind of means, it's more than just being a place of lucrative business. Perhaps something might be found if we go there. At the very least, the tower is going to be a temporary hideout for them because we're about to go kick the door in.
Aurelia, if you will, I believe you've done some investigation of this front. And she gestures to one of the half-elves behind her, who bows her head deeply and steps up. Yes, Lady Gorak. We have followed up some on the history of the Scarlet Triad, investigated possible monikers, cover names, or shell companies or businesses that they may have been hiding behind or through. And everything seems to point back to Katapesh. As the Scarlet Triad there, it is one of the primary ruling guilds, so to speak, of the area, a mercantile consortium. Ostensibly, they trade in arms and armor. They conduct business as any consortium within the walls of Katapesh would. But it is not a terribly well-hidden secret. They have expanded into slavery sometimes in the past years. This all seems to fit. Though none of it does rely why exactly they have come here.
You know, it does strike me that this enterprise does have something in common with their previous one in Mwangi. They're pitting an enemy who is universally unliked, who have gone out of their way to make themselves unliked in some ways through what they do and who they are. And they're trying to isolate them. But why? Why would you want to isolate them? And they're using another more powerful group that had other intentions originally. The cultists, they were originally just a tribe. They didn't have those types of intentions. They were just, well, much like the slavers. They were just doing business, trying to make a living, make money, but they used them. They found the niche in that society that was ripe for advantage, and now they're manipulating it. If you think about it, it's very similar MO.
You kind of lost me about halfway through what you're talking about there.
I have absolutely no idea what you folk are talking about.
No, they're playing Puppet Master.
I'll just take your word for it.
So you believe their goals perhaps may simply be to destabilize regions?
Yes. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. And I'm not sure if it's for economic or political gain, or if there's something larger going on.
Nothing that Aurelia had researched or brought to me anyway indicated any presence of the Scarlet Triad or any operations anywhere near the Mwangi expanse, did they? Just buzzard. No, Lady Gorak. Nothing I found.
Not slavery, but gold. That's because that was that region's untapped resource. That's what they were looking for.
It isn't far from Katapesh. It'd be easily accessible if they needed more wealth for some reason. But the Scarlet Triad, at least if we are speaking of the same Scarlet Triad, is a consortium from Katapesh. It is a merchant city. Surely their bankroll is going to be near the back of their concerns.
That's if the Scarlet Triad is really even the core of their enterprise, or if it isn't just another hand in the web.
It's also impossible to tell if this is simply a group sharing a similar name. If I had such insights, I'd be studying on Hermea rather than here.
Well, Perhaps it will become more clear to us with what we find, but I very much appreciate your insights. You've given me the perspective needed to see something more clearly.
This brings us back to our final question then. If you already know the location where these Scarlet Triads seem to be running their Kantargan operations, you've already traced them back to Tannessen Tower with your own investigations. What then do you wish done with the men and women here?
They can simply disappear.
Or we can keep them and see what advantage might come from having them for later.
There is nothing we could get from those three that we could not get from any Scarlet Triad member we capture.
And there's also something to be said about ridding the world of 3 slavers.
Their organization is efficient and seemingly well structured. I can't imagine that the 3 that were sent to break in here to attack for whatever aims would know anything more of the grand plans than exactly what they were doing at that moment.
Hand them over to the Silver Council.
I would think that is unwise, but if that is what you wish done with them, you clearly know more of the situation than I do.
I want to see what they're going to do with them. That will tell us a lot about the Silver Council's intentions.
Well, that's a wise idea. Perhaps if you do indeed send them to the council and they wind up disappearing from custody, it could be an indication of how connected the Triad are with the local government.
Perhaps, but I would wager such information is less than useful, given the current circumstances, and perhaps not worth the trade of 3 bodies back to the Triad, who seems to be running precious low on resources in recent days.
Every member
Ponds.
that you can take from them rids them of multiple opportunities.
If it is what you wish, we can have them delivered to the council and arrested proper.
If it is even the possibility that we trade 3 pawns for a knight, I think it is a good trade.
Very well. They'll be handed over to the constabulary later today.
Perhaps if we are concerned about corruption, and this is a flag to go and see what type of corruption there is, it might be worth it to follow the cases. I don't know if your students are particularly versed in local laws or have any kind of connections there, but if we can perhaps see which magistrates oversee their case, which guards guard their cells, perhaps it would actually help identify corruption. If something is interested in, that's something that you're interested in rooting out.
I don't believe at the moment, to their credit, that news of the Scarlet Triad, or perhaps even the name, has been floated to any members of the Silver Council recently. And given their concerns with diplomatic relations with our northern neighbor, as well as some of the reports and sightings of strange hauntings throughout the town, they've much bigger problems on their plate. I'm unsure if this would even catch the attention of the Silver Council in the first place, rather than simply sending them to a holding cell.
I'd be fine with them being in a holding cell. They deserve to face the justice of the place that they have wronged.
I'd be fine with them being in a ditch, personally.
No need to dirty our hands with such things. They have other business.
Oh, my hands are plenty dirty, don't you worry about it.
Actively smelling of blood and viscera.
Now, with that business out of the way, I assume you will perhaps be taking this investigation at Tannessen Tower yourselves.
Investigation. That's a good word for it.
Which leads me to a further question, personally. So what stake have you in this? You're not Kintargo natives.
We
You're
have
not
a
slaves, and the city's concerns seem to be none of yours.
we
It's
have
personal.
a bit of a personal vendetta. They have come to us, cause problem, take hostage from our village, and now we are here to make sure that they do not try again.
And those bastards have killed every friend I have ever had.
That sounds like the correct answer. What's personal, then? I would bet a grand fortune that none of you are Wangi natives, which tells me you know even more of the Triad, perhaps beyond than what you've let on. But playing cards close to the chest is wise. Similarly, as I did not know, and still don't, that I can fully trust you, you have no reason to trust me. No further than you need to. And again, that is wise. I bear no ill will for that. However, I do have a bit of an eye for talent, particularly magical talent. And the doors of my school are always open to interesting individuals of high potential. Roshin, I would imagine you know a bit more of magic than you let on.
Oh, that's never intended to conceal it. Ilani's gifts are indeed something that weigh on my shoulders.
But I would also wager that you are not a traditional devout acolyte in the common sense.
One might say I was drafted.
You and your group here seem to possess a fair deal of skills. Although knowledge is ever expanding, and in near all situations, the most potent weapon one can possess. You chase your vendetta against the Scarlet Triad. You do as you see fit. But if you wish to expand your mind and your skills further, and broaden your horizons, I'd gladly take either of you as students.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Can you imagine me in a finishing school?
I don't
think
recommend it.
Nobody needs to be finished half as much.
I think at this point it's
Marshall loses his cool and just starts laughing on the ground.
I think at this point it's just kind of side eyes down at Marshall.
Not that you can tell because they're elven eyes.
It's true.
In
No
mid-
pupils. Yeah.
In mid laugh, he's like, "Have you seen her in a dress? It's quite hilarious."
I think it's more than plain, even with what you've seen of my academy so far, that we are no simple finishing school.
Rather gather that.
I'd be honored to have you as a teacher.
And turns to one of the other girls behind her, makes a quick symbol, and she pulls out a pair of small gilded cards that are already embossed on the front with Resme and Roshin. She takes the pair of
She
them,
wrote us invitations.
one in each hand, and holds them out to you. Bear these. Now, whenever you return, the reverse may have the answers you seek.
This really is an anime school.
Now, if you turn it over on the back, it would have a single word. Lacunafex. Lacunafex.
Lacuna effects.
Hakuna Matata.
No. Wrong movie.
I don't want that in normal people words.
We're not
We're
magic.
invited, you're not.
Yeah, we're not magic.
Get out of here, you non-caster.
I think the rest of this party is pretty magical.
Oh.
Aww.
We'll be back. And, we have a lot to learn, I think.
And Eleonora, with all of your skills and your gifts, performative talent, I'd always wondered why you never sought application to my school. Personal reasons, or simply you feel yourself better self-taught?
A finishing school never sat well with me. Mother and father tried to send me to one, I didn't take to it.
I had assumed something fairly similar. Well, hopefully the answers and the vengeance that you seek lie in this tower. I truly wish you the best of luck,
You're very kind.
even though I, as well, have no real stake in this game.
Well, if they're destabilizing the city that your school is based off of, you may have more of a stake than you say.
How much is fair? I do take great pride in my school.
Well, something tells
hate
me
to
it'll
see
still
it
be
lost.
standing even if the entire city burns down.
I'm not going to be one to underestimate the Scarlet Triad, or their resources or their potential. I would advise you as well. Do the same.
Don't worry, we're not going to kick down the doors.
Are we or are we not? I've heard that we are, and I've heard that we're not.
Come on, let's go figure that out.
We need to.
Very well.
She can't stop
Aurelia?
both of us.
If you will see the group of them to the doors.
All right. Can I please make a motion that we start calling everyone who goes to school there the Alabastards?
No. Absolutely not.
Certainly not within the walls.
No, that other school, the Alabaster Academy.
Oh, them! The alabaster.
The finishing school.
Goodness gracious. You gave me a heart attack.
I would never insult that woman. Are you kidding me? I just want to die.
You probably die.
Marshall just kind of tugs on Trishik's sleeve. In a school.
Would they?
It would do you a right lot of good, though.
You'll be in school later today.
I suppose I will be.
And we'll be teaching lessons.
I know about pain.
Lessons in pain.
It's time for a bit
Are they
of physical
Are
education.
they usually this violent?
Violence is a relative term to these men
What
and
do-
lady.
what-
When it
Oh,
comes
she
to-
smells like blood constantly.
When it comes to slavers, there is no extreme.
Have you tried this? I just hand her a bar of soap.
That just
one
slowly
smells like
starts to
lavender.
turn bloody as
Poor Esme has tried,
she
believe me.
holds it.
I can believe it, actually.
Part of Milani's curse. I do bathe, believe it or not, but it never helps the smell.
I just like to think of it as ode to death.
Oh, the death.
No,
Oh,
not
the death.
not ode to death.
I don't think I'm.
to death.
I don't.
So we should say eau de mort.
Ooh, very nice. Mort.
No, mort.
Muerte.
You don't pronounce the T.
I could.
Yeah, you'd just be wrong.
I would be.
Can we get in that normal people words?
So somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight.
I took French in high school, I'll have you know.
I'll have you know that I took Spanish in high school for 2 years. Donde está la Biblia?
That's more.
And I'll have you know, like, unlike many elves, I can speak with an English accent.
So, as soon as you make your way out from Eddie School and back into Kintargo, all of the locations we've visited today, and even the Alabaster Academy, are pretty well close together, actually, around this major park in the Valegra here. This little, that bang on the western side of the park is the school for girls. The Longrose Coffee House is right here, and this giant gray building is the Alabaster Academy. So,
Wow. It's within a stone. It's in a stone's throw.
yeah, the academy is pretty close. It's only maybe 150 yards away. You cut through the park and through some side roads between some buildings, you can make your way to the academy incredibly swiftly. Which I imagine is probably what we're doing.
That's exactly
Is
what
there- there's nothing else that you guys want
Yep.
before you
I'm pretty
head
sure.
to do tower time?
Stretching. Gotta stretch before a battle.
Yep. Limber
Limber
up.
Limber up. Limber up. Don't want to pull nothing.
If you'd like, I can send my eye out to do some forward scouting.
Well, the tower's right there. We can see where it is.
I know, but it can go up really high.
And the academy itself is, again, you've walked past it a few times, it's a fairly large campus. Most of the buildings made in Kintargo is quite distinctive, silver streaked stone. The main bulk of the buildings are 3 to 4 stories tall. It is a fairly dense college campus, and there is not a ton of space between the buildings. There's no lush parks or greens between them. It's just buildings, interconnecting walkways, and more buildings. But it is dotted around with actually several assorted towers. And we're talking like Rapunzel-esque towers. Tannessen Tower in particular, which would be no difficulty to locate on the campus, appears to be 8 stories tall.
I'm gonna say we could just like collar a kid and just be like, "Where's a tower?"
Yeah, I'm not going to make anybody roll to
Okay.
find a public feature of an open campus. So the tower extends far up above the larger predominant classroom buildings, the main central building of the academy, capped with a silver dome roof. And it is literally peaked with a red conical rooftop. Like, you could not get more iconic, generic fantasy looking if you built it for that intent and purpose.
You think that's the tower?
I'd say it looks like the tower.
It looks like the tower
It
to me.
looks tower-ish.
Oh, it is a tower. We can let them kick down the doors, find out later.
Oh my god.
So-
See, I knew you'd come around.
I was about to say, so I do kick the door down?
I'll knock first.
And as you approach,
That's me knocking.
as you approach the building itself, you would see that there's but a single entrance on the western side at the base of the tower, which rests at the southeast corner of the campus, so nearest to the center of town. The door is still there; it still looks in perfectly good shape. You can see nothing but darkness inside the tower, though it does seem to be braced with windows all the way up that would provide at least some light inside, though near all of them are either heavily tinted or full stained glass art displays unto themselves. The door is blockaded simply by a pair of banisters and a rope.
I just walk
with a
through
single sign hanging saying closed.
it. Marshall just walks through it. He doesn't care.
I don't think that's gonna
It's
stop.
like, look, Scarlet Triad.
Even if
It's
it was
just
a solid
labeled.
door, he would just walk through it.
So the door is not even locked, and you would literally be able to just open it and walk inside.
I'm sticking to what I said. I just walk through it.
I don't like this.
We're just going in.
What do I see?
Walking through the tower
Didn't even
itself.
knock.
As you come into
Seeking.
Seeking.
Not gonna fall for that again.
Oh yeah, we're all doing it. Seeking.
the elephant, I ask.
Avoiding notice.
You sneaky. You guys
I
are
can't do
eyeballs, you're
anything.
fatigued.
Scouting.
You're going to be scouting for something. Resume is tired enough that she can't really put enough focus into to sustain spells or magic. It is a bit physically exhausting to repeat spells. They have intensive somatic components. They're very precise.
Except for shield.
Except for shield, where you just go ah, and a shield comes.
Please no, not the base.
With the tongue out.
But
Bubble.
the inside is barren. It is a round room of what looks like a main entry chamber into a rectangular hallway with a couple of offshoots on either side, and visible from the front door across from you, a stone staircase spiraling up to the next floor. The place has been absolutely gutted. It looks like when they close it down, they have moved all of the furniture, resources, absolutely anything out of here, and there is nothing in here save for unfinished walls and bare stone.
Suspicious.
Shall we go up?
Well, they were speaking that they were having to carry people up the stairs, but it might be wiser just to check every door in the room just to make sure nothing gets behind us.
Yep. I pull out my axe and I just start climbing.
So that's the opposite of what I just said.
Oh. Sorry. I'm directionally challenged.
There's one door to a large chamber on the left that the wall itself is carved in an array of shelves and notches. Looks like it was once storage of some kind. And two chambers on the right. Both of them appear to be completely barren. All the doors have fairly large windows set into them. They're as much glass as wood, hiding nothing behind them.
Okay. Well, once I'm sure that there's nothing on the ground floor, then. Oh, do we have a map? Yep.
No, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at. I was trying to look at how wide it is.
Oh.
The tower itself is about probably 70 feet across.
Okay.
So it's not even a particularly wide tower. When you come in, you can immediately see everything at the bottom floor. And as you head up the winding stairs to the second floor, you can immediately see everything that is the second floor. The stairway, as it arcs up, ends at a landing that lets out onto the next level, which then immediately feeds into the staircase continuing up alongside. So you could continue just ascending the stairs, or you could fork off to go investigate the floor itself. But the second floor, like the first, appears to be equally, completely barren.
Should we split up or should we check out the floor together?
We should definitely not split up.
I'd agree.
Seeker boys, why don't you roll me a perception check?
33.
29.
So 33, Marshall, is you kind of more astute looking for people to start chopping in half. Rasheen would notice that it does appear that near nobody has been here for quite some time. From the second floor, looking out onto the landing into a large, what looks like it was once receiving or entry area to whatever amenities is once held, there's a visible layer of dust across the floor that you don't even have to get down to look at. You can see that as well. Anyone can see that. But what you do notice is that the stairs in front of you are not as dusted. The stairs themselves have clearly seen some use much more recently than the landing and the room, which it looks like nobody's been there since the tower was condemned. And in fact, the stair up on the lip of each step and even a few inches in appears to be near wiped clean. Dust only settling on the very edges, the outer edge rather, and back in the crease of the stair itself. Looks like they're used fairly regularly, and that's more than just footsteps would leave.
And Roshi's just gonna actually, just to drive the point home, is gonna run her finger down the step and kind of go like this. Stairs are being dusted, possibly by boots, possibly by socks, possibly by even someone cleaning.
Yeah. So I said we keep going up then.
If it's
Indeed.
someone cleaning, they're doing a shoddy job.
Krogach. And I'm gonna throw heroism up.
Is it dark inside?
There is enough light streaming in through the various tinted windows posted up everywhere around that it's dim in here. It's not well lit, but it's perfectly visible. If you have low light vision, you're not bothered at all.
Turning on my goggles.
Do you don't have low light vision?
No.
The Ruxy don't have low light vision?
Nope.
Okay, that's a surprise.
They live in
I
swamps.
feel like I've probably asked you that 10 times by now because my brain is hard coded that lizard people should have low light vision.
They just
That would
live in
make sense.
swamps.
They got weird looking eyes, so you'd think,
That's
but
fair.
I'm good.
I guess
If you do
Roshin's
not
good
have
too,
low light
actually.
vision, though, it is going to be a bit dark.
I mean, I have dark vision, so I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, you're chilling. Your goggles are on the 2 humans here in the party.
Human.
Actually, I'm a changeling, so I'm okay.
Right.
I'm the only problem.
You're.
You can just
It's like
stand
No one
right
else
around
seems
it.
bothered at all. Oh, you
Oh.
see Trishik put these new goggles on. But,
all-
It's like Buford never left.
I've been wearing them the whole time. I just turned the lenses and suddenly I'm perfectly fine.
It's no one else having an issue in here.
it's
No.
perfectly visible.
It's
just
visible.
not-
It's a little dim.
Oh, it's
Like-
dark in here for you, isn't it?
Oh, not dark, just a little dim.
Fine.
I'll
I
take
just
care of
light
that.
up my axe.
Oh,
Don't burn the.
I think the fire rune
don't-
quite does
don't-
that. You would only illuminate it like yourself in a very small area. Around you.
Worry
Like a
about
magical
it. I
fire
just
does not cast.
pull
out
out.
a
I reach
wide
in my
light.
bag and pull out.
Darn it.
I reach in my bag of holding and pull out a hooded lantern. Just light it.
Would you like to have both hands free for that?
I can just drop it when I need it.
I could
Dropping
just
a lit lantern might not be the best idea.
Eh.
light.
Oh, it's a very shiny mask. you
Mark
got
of
there.
Saruman glows from I like to imagine. I think it literally, as written, the light is your actual
It is a
handprint.
handprint, yeah.
So if you do that, it's literally the glowing Mark of Saruman. on
Just
Eleanor's
Are you serious?
Just cast light and get somebody in the eyes.
Yeah, light is you cast it, then you touch something, and what you touch is glowing. So it's not like if you do it on your breastplate, it's not like your breastplate glows. It's like where your hand printed on your breastplate is a glowing
Yeah.
handprint.
In the
That's so
first
cool.
edition, you designated an object to be the light source.
Right.
In
Second,
second
it's a bit-
edition, you put a light source on an object. And it can be anything that you can put your hand on.
So if you were playing a real gritty Pathfinder, and you lit someone's breastplate or something, it would actually only illuminate in front of them, because it would be lighting behind them.
Ah.
I feel like Pathfinder lends itself better to more high fantasy than that. But
Yeah,
you
you
could probably
would, like,
do some neat
Put it
low-level
on top
grittiness.
of them or
Well, I
something.
mean, yeah, you could, but like it's like you're only like the
You
light
guys-
would actually move as you stride.
You guys are nerds.
People
Stop.
look around.
You can wrap
Stop
you can wrap your
talking.
hand around a blade so
No,
it
this
can
is
cover
about to
all
go
sides.
where we don't want to go.
But
We're going down
Have
this
a
hallway.
mirrored gauntlet
We're
for
going.
specifically that purpose. Just like,
So what is the marching orders then up the stairs here?
I'll be in the front.
You're going to be in the front.
Okay.
I am the
Put
meat
me in the
shield.
back.
Technically, I'm the meat shield, but
You're the metal shield.
fair enough. I will be right behind Marshall then.
I'll be in front of Eleonora.
I'm going to have my bow out, and I suppose I'll be on the roof. Or like up high on the wall.
I was about to say-
Not constantly upside down,
Yeah,
but
you're just kind of like sticking up. And the landings of each floor of the tower are quite large. They're a bit more vaulted than a traditional room. Ceiling's about 14 feet overhead. So on a ceiling, it is high enough that you could just crouch, I guess, up. I was gonna say crouch down, but that's not how
Just,
it
like,
is.
flatten
You could,
myself.
yeah, crouch up a little bit and actually be out of reach of like a guy with a sword, because they are a couple feet higher than like this room or a standard room.
I'm just every time I say I'm on the roof or I'm on a wall or something, it's always that no one ever looks up. That's the
It's
whole.
not quite warehouse high where it would really effectively hide you, especially because every floor appears to be accessed by this single winding staircase. It's
But
working
it is
its way up.
dim and light is coming down and in. Up would be darker.
That's not wrong. that's accurate. It's fairly early in the morning, so sun's up. It would be. That's right.
Okay.
So you continue up to the third landing and the fourth. Each as barren as the ones before, each showing no signs that anyone had passed anywhere but up the stairs and then continuing up the stairs. As floor after floor after floor.
Oh, I feel like I should have eaten my more eggs or something this morning. This is exhausting.
Would be quite a lot of stairs.
I mean, we've only got about 3 floors to go, and there's only 8 in the whole tower, so.
At this point, you'd be about halfway up the tower, and as you pass these windows, tinted and stained as they are, you can still see out of them decently. You can see we're quite high up. Each of the windows set in are not a standard like room window, but they are maybe about 2 feet wide and 4 feet tall. vaulted to a peak, almost in a Gothic style architecture.
Archer windows.
Archer windows, kind of.
Well, I haven't slept in 2 days, Verily, so stairs? I don't like stairs right now.
Shall I carry you?
Oh, well, no need for that. That would be just an imposition.
Now. Rushing to
What
scoop you
the-
up and carry you up the stairs.
What are you doing?
So, as you continue up this fifth
Can't
flight
have you
of
losing your
stairs,
breath or twisting an ankle or breaking a heel.
this is interrupted by you seeing the flicker of firelights coming down from the staircase leading up to the 6th level, before you even crest up onto the 5th.
Can we put me down now?
I suppose so.
Now, the 5th floor does not look as abandoned. The landing, the brief 10-15 feet between the finish of one staircase and the beginning of the next, to either side has stacks of some barrels and boxes that look like they have all been laying here somewhat recently. The dust on the floor has been well disturbed. And this landing also extends about 20 or so feet back before it reaches more unfinished walls and doors that look like they've been untouched for freaking ever. But there are a lot of supplies packed away here. You can see an open crate in front of you, filled full with straw that appears to have rows upon rows of glass vials, alembics, basic retorts, simple alchemical glassware. The rest of the crates and barrels are still closed.
Oh. What's in these?
And from here, you can hear
Looks like the sort of equipment you kept in your living room.
voices and laughter carrying down the stairway, heading to the floor above.
I hand motion the, take cover.
Would you like me to go look? I can go invisible.
I just kind of look up at you.
So
And-
I'll pop the invisibility on my armor. Let them take cover and get back out of view.
As the group of you move into cover, you two make me a perception check.
I'm chugging a moderate Drakeheart mutagen.
Okay.
Me?
No, the two that are seeking.
25.
27.
So you'll go into cover, and Marshall, you will not notice until you hear the sliding of metal plates from light armor and see the flash of a blade swing up from behind one of the boxes to you as someone who had been hiding down there twists up around, swinging a dagger up toward you. Make me a reflex save.
Man, your
Nicely
hero
done,
points
look
are
at that.
money.
Apparently, but they're worth it. So that's a 37.
37 is going
That's
to
a
critically
19.
succeed. So this person, it looks like a relatively small frame, lithe and nimble, twist up, slashing up towards you with this dagger. What do you do?
As I back up, I go to the rest of the party. Ambush!
And as you kind of rebuff it, this figure slides back away from you, jingle of chainmail and a rustle of some metal. It's a woman with some fairly short, cropped, almost platinum blonde hair. And she looks up across the party, the dagger in one hand, her rapier unsheathing with the other, until her eyes fall on Resme and just go wide. Resme? What are you doing here?
This is the weirdest day ever.
You know her?
Do you know this person?
Balia? How did you get here from Mwangi?
It's been like... No, sorry. And she...
Don't pull out the book. Don't pull out the book. It's fine. We're doing good. This was an excellent introduction. These are my friends. You haven't met them before.
Actively invisible.
And her eyes...
Nor have you met him ever.
Her eyes kind of shoot to the staircase to the next floor up. And then back to you. Her hand hovering over the book.
Why are you here?
I could ask you much the same question.
We're killing the Triad. You're one of them?
No.
Good.
Not even remotely.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you then.
Can we please not talk about it right now?
But buddy?
Buddy's wife is very mad at him. He had to go take care of some family things. But Buddy's fine. This is Buddy's.
Furious.
This is Buddy's cousin.
I don't know if this isn't odd time for introductions, but
Oh, please don't. We'll do it later.
Lady Valia Argans Asimov.
There we
Just
go.
make all of your acquaintances.
And
But
I'm just glaring at her like, right.
as soon as she does the
Okay.
introduction, I just take a step back. Eleanor, Beatrice, Rosa, and Oleander.
This is not the time.
So while this is happening, I'm invisible, looking to see what's up there because I only have 2 minutes of
Okay.
it. I'm not.
so yeah, as
He's not wasting time.
Yeah,
you quickly head upstairs.
and I'm just getting a quick like scatter around, look, see what's there, come back. I'm not sticking around.
Let me hit y'all with one of these here.
There is no possible way to explain her to anyone.
And that was
I
the,
already don't like her, so it's okay.
that was the invisibility
Probably on
rune.
account of her trying to
Right.
stab you.
Not my
I mean,
token.
just a little bit.
So, Rashik, as you make your way up along the stairs here to this landing, you can see that much like the rest, it continues into another staircase that leads further up. Torches are set in sconces along the walls just inside the stairwell here, meaning that this floor is much more well lit than the ones below. And you can hear raucous laughter coming from the southern side of the level. You can see from here that the path moves forwards to a doorway ahead of you and another one back behind you, just openings sectioning this floor largely in half. You can hear at least 2 voices from the southern side of the room. And from here you can pretty clearly make out the one of them that seems to be fairly loud. And you wouldn't believe, honestly, it was ridiculous. I must have gone through 3-4 doses, enough to easily have dosed a horse or even a particularly ornery cow, and still this man tries to fight back. Like, he can barely move his fingers independently, and still he thinks he can get away from this somehow. At that, you hear at least several people laughing about this, that someone is telling what apparently was to them a very hilarious story to their friends.
All right, I'll sneak over using sneak spot and assurance to go see where that's coming from. I'm just trying to get eyes on as much stuff as I can in my
You're
short
just
time.
completely
period.
invisible.
Yes.
So you make your way around through the doorway here to the southern area. It leads into what looks like it's a lecture hall, an auditorium. It's fairly large, like I said, taking up a full half of the tower. The southern half of the room dominated by some rising bleachers curving along the southern wall of the tower itself, and a podium set against an outglow at the northern side. And someone is sitting there, near tears in her eyes, laughing as she's telling this story to 2 of her friends, just sat on the bottom level of the bleachers, that are also finding this just absolutely hilarious. They all bear the emblazoned scarlet insignias upon manacles at their hips. These are all clearly Scarlet Triad members.
Okay.
One of them is sitting there with a great club, blunt hand down on the ground, his forehead literally against the handle as he's stamping his feet on the ground laughing. And the other one is much more composed, sitting upright. You can clearly see that the other man in the stands has a short sword on his hip and a crossbow just sat on the bench next to him. Both that man and the woman at the podium telling the story have a variety of vials, potion bottles, strapped across several bandoliers and belts across them, filled with all kinds of different viscous colored liquids.
And these all appeared human.
They're all human.
And do I hear anything else around?
It'll be somewhat difficult to over this
Well, as I'm leaving.
boisterous
Because
storytelling.
once I see this,
but-
I'm like, all right, 3 people, alchemical stuff, go.
But no, you don't hear anything else as you're making your way out.
All right, then I'll put out those sconces.
Are they lit?
They are lit. Yes, they are lit. So you will quench both these sconces on the outside of the room. If they notice, it's not immediately apparent.
Sconces burn out.
Yeah, well, I mean, also they had more in the room
Yeah.
with them, so like they would not immediately notice a huge light change in the chamber.
They were ensconced.
And I'll come back, I assume, to mid. I'm Valia.
Yeah, so during that, after Volley had introduced herself, we switch back over here. Marshall, my friend, can't have 0 hero points. It's illegal.
I've had 0 the whole session.
We can't have 0 hero points and not be derp. That's illegal.
I've had
Appreciate
0
it.
as well.
Trone is 96. Throwing a 1 in for you.
You still have your session reroll though.
So Volley is there.
Somewhere.
She still has
Somewhere,
the
over
she
there.
still has the dagger on the one hand, blade pointed down and underhanded grip. One hand still hovering over the book.
Valia, we're here tracking the Triad. Is that why you were here too?
That's the same thing that I'm doing. After everything that we had found back down in the jungle, everything that we had found out about the Triad's interferences there, I did some more digging into who exactly I was taking coin from to fund my own personal adventures. I did not trace back in a way that I had hoped.
Perhaps we might discuss the minutiae of such things after we finish this infiltration. Doubtless, we should hear your tale in more convivial surrounds.
It's not really an infiltration so much as a raid. We're gonna go and kill everyone up there. Would you like to come along? It'll be a great deal of fun.
There's near a dozen of them up there, and among them is Brazakil Varashma. He's a powerful wizard of some kind. I believe he
Oh,
was
the wizard's here! He's caused us no end of trouble.
Risme. He was the one who paid me in the first place to investigate the gates of Alceda's ring. And to
Oh,
look into Hunter's Gate and see what it was.
Brazakil, you said? We need to know what to carve on
Brazak-
his tombstone.
Brazak Ilvarashma. He's clearly not from here. He's not Chelish. He's not from Ravenel or.
What's he look like?
I'll be sure to inquire of his antecedents before we put a hole through his heart.
I'll just
very
make it up.
tall,
Golden skin, perhaps?
somewhat dark skin. You could call it golden.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's the one.
Straight brown hair, brought back.
That's very convenient. I thought we'd have to go all over the city looking for that one.
I know of him.
I reckon
Does
since
he
I
have
had the
only
time,
by
I'd mark
reputation.
Does he have a beard?
A small goatee, yeah, pointed.
As I said, we've been taking rather perpendicular paths, both pursuing the same people.
I thought your concern was the Cinder Claws.
Well, the Cinder Claws were part of what the Triad were doing.
Apparently the Triad was funding them or something. I don't quite understand exactly. But the Triad went and kicked the door to Breach Hill down. And that made it rather personal.
Alright, fair enough. Well, as odd a place to cross paths again as this is, definitely appreciate the support. I was mainly just trying to listen, learn what I can, look through the things here, and I heard you coming up the stairs. You were not subtle.
Well, you know who I travel with.
Oh, she's the book lady!
Yes.
The book lady?
I hadn't recognized her. Terribly sorry. It's very...
I
The crouched with the dagger, I didn't notice the book at first. I know exactly who you are. Resme speaks very highly of you.
You see her hand pull back towards the book. She stops.
Not right now. Valia is a very capable swordswoman, and she has many tricks up her sleeve. Don't worry about her. She can take care of herself.
Oh, good to hear.
Look, this tower is... I don't know what else they have up there, but it's more than just man, I can tell you at least that much. I've heard something much larger moving about, possibly several of them.
Do you know how many floors up?
It sounded like maybe 2 from here. I doubt it was at the top. It wouldn't have been as clear, but it was definitely higher than the one just above us. Around this time, Trishik would probably reappear.
The invisibility just slowly fading.
Perhaps not all of us so subtly inclined.
Shh, it's okay. He's with us.
There are the 2 alchemists and 1 man with club. I put out sconces. They have 2 lights in the room. Top floor appears to have not much
They've been
else.
bringing alchemical supplies up here. Don't cast anything here. They could probably hear it from the top of the stairs. It's right there. It's on plain view. They've got... they keep a watch up there at all times. At least 3 of them, sometimes up to 5.
How many were there, Trishik?
I saw 3. The one by a door on left is mine. And I'll
That's
have
about as
marked
light
out.
as it gets then.
Perfect.
They've been porting a bunch of alchemy supplies up here. All these various tools in this crate here. wide array of vials and pots to carry tinctures and potions. I don't right know what they're making.
Can I take a look at the stuff and just see if I can
The
get
stuff
an
in the
idea?
open crate is literally just glassware. Like there's
Okay. There's no... Okay.
I don't suppose it'll matter much if we put the sword to all of them.
It's Q time!
oh, hello, Q times. Welcome. We're being very stealthy right now.
We are being very stealthy.
We're being
Sneaky.
sneaky raid. We're also raiding. We're doing a different kind of raid, but thank you for the support.
Thank you for the Q-tip.
And Lizard.
I
Lizard.
get my coin.
Trishik, you get a coin from Jayazo Trishik, my murder lizard.
I will
needs a coin.
immediately use this. Don't worry.
On something doubtless useless.
Look, in addition to whatever they have up there, this place is fairly well defensible. They've chosen their hideout fairly well. The only way up and down to the levels, as you've surely seen by now, is these single staircases, and you can't fit much more than single file up them, maybe double wide. If they got their defenses set up properly, it's going to be difficult to mount an offense from the stairwell itself. They're going to have the high ground and flat at that.
Perhaps you might misunderstand our capabilities. Typical methods of attack aren't going to work well for us. But don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
Oh, trust me, I've seen the company resume keeps. I've no doubt of your skills, but
If you would like, I could infiltrate from outside, and we could go up wall and through window.
And likewise, we could actually bring the entire party up that way if we needed to.
none of the windows actually open. The only one would be bashing them apart, which would certainly be noticeable and would take some time to get in. You'd be well exposed on the outside of the tower. I don't know if that's better than the stairs.
Well, there's no
Perhaps-
archers on the outside of the tower, are there?
Well, but given the confines, I doubt there's archers on the inside. This wouldn't be very effective if there were.
It would be bad, though, if there was a demon on the roof.
Ah, that's true. They do have a bit of a habit of doing that, don't they?
I'm sorry, why would there be a demon on the roof?
They like
There
to put
has
demons on
been.
roofs.
It
I've taken
typically-
care of 2 of them already.
Typically, I am on the roof, and demon does not like me, so they go to roof. I come down, tell Roshin.
It's a bit of a tradition.
Roshin deals with demons.
All right. There.
So far, we've
I'm
dealt
just
with
as confused, don't worry
demons,
about it.
devils,
It's a long story.
rakshasa, and ghosts. They've brought very interesting company.
And pigs. They have a lot of pigs.
Oh,
Pigs?
let's not
Pigs.
go into the pigs.
I've seen those beasts. There are none of them here, but I've
Pigs?
I've run across them following
Long
the triad
story.
and tracking the
A
Varashma.
lot of long stories.
So what? If you've been following the triad as well, I've been tracking Brazok specifically. Why are the triad even here? What are they doing?
It's not
That-
terribly clear, actually, but they
I-
are running a slave ring,
I
which
have a
does
theory.
not sit well with me.
I have a theory that we can discuss later, but for now, I think we had best take care of these inconveniences.
That doesn't make any sense. Slavery is illegal in Ravenel. They can't do that. Why would they come here?
I'll look at you and I'll raise an eyebrow. Don't make her uncomfortable.
Does she not understand the concept of crime?
She understands the concept of crime, but the idea of breaking the law or going against the rules or regulations does not make her comfortable.
Well, I've very well broken in this tower already.
It's open, to
Technically,
be
it's
fair.
not owned.
There was a sign that said "Don't enter."
Yes,
It
but
said
that was a
closed, It
suggestion.
did not say don't enter.
Well, that generally implies that you don't enter.
I think they largely impart the same legal message. She slides the dagger back into the sheath. So,
Do you want to take up the rear?
that might actually be wise.
If you would
Scar-
like.
Triad forces come and go
Yes.
occasionally through here. It's less so of the last few days that I've been watching, but I can't find any real method to what they're doing. No real schedule. One could show up at any time.
I'd feel more comfortable having you at our back.
I feel confident that I can hold a staircase, and if not, I can
Yell out.
scream bloody murder up the stairs to you when
If
you
anyone
come
comes
out.
down while we're working a floor, just go ahead and stab him in the gut. And if that doesn't work, just ask for help.
Or use your secret weapon.
I can handle that if I need to.
Well, anyways, as far as room upstairs.
How did you get to Kintargo?
That's what I'm
A
trying.
boat. And Alcetta's ring.
That's what I'd want. I wondered if that was connected somehow.
Took you 2 days.
We'll talk about Alcetta's ring later.
I can't
I have a lot of
help
questions.
but notice the Scarlet Triad seemed to be involved at the terminus of wherever Alcetta's ring reaches.
And yes, we'd noticed that as well.
Best of luck.
And you as well.
The stairs are going to make it difficult, but whatever they've been working, it's very likely they have plenty alchemical concoctions at their disposal. Try to spread out if you can.
Indeed, and we'll scream bloody murder if we need help.
Of course. Pleasure meeting all of the rest of you. And she would kind of awkwardly still crouch, sort of trying to bow, like a full, proper.
I just keep
noble
glaring
bow.
at her.
Oh, look at that. She came right out of the finishing school.
Now, Roshin and Marshall. Marshall, you'll take door on left. Roshin, take door on right. Into room, put out sconce.
Put
First,
out the sconce.
they are human.
Well, then it'll be a bit dim, but there's a window there's some light in.
But if whole room is dim, we come back out into hallway where lights do not reach. Harder for them to see.
Well, there is
We
still
can
literally a
ambush.
window at the top of the stairs. It's letting light in. Like, it's still going to be dim. It doesn't go into pitch
Yeah.
darkness. Like, they didn't notice because, like, it's just the light level kind of goes down a little.
Okay. Does dim not like give you?
Dim gives you concealment.
That's
So,
what
like,
I want.
it would give you concealment if you made it dim.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
what
have
I
light
want.
on your forehead.
Which will make it less.
I'll douse that.
concealed.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
make-
why you would be going to the right with Roshin.
no,
I
I-
would be going to the left with Marshall.
I also I have something up my sleeve. Here. Drink this.
Sure. One gulp.
She has dark vision now.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so
I could see.
This the cat face.
This gives us it is minor, but it gives us advantage of the.
I'll touch my
Environment.
amulet. I have dark vision now as well.
That's convenient. Very good. Very well. Then the first move is to take out the torches. Good for me.
Okay.
There are two men in the middle of room on bleachers. It's like a study hall with a teacher in the front and lines of students.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I must say, Miss Resume, this tactical acumen seems to have improved dramatically since our last meeting.
Well, to be really honest with you, the average intellect of my party has taken quite a leap since we last met.
I, of course, mean no offense to him. He was nothing but perfectly kind and seemed perfectly capable. But an operation such as this, perhaps it was wise not to involve Mr. Bates.
View? Yeah, probably. He's not incredibly
Should
rat.
you need to see
very
in
noisy.
true darkness?
I think there'll be plenty. I can see plenty fine. The light coming through the window lights up the room just perfectly fine.
All right then.
If
Let's
you
go.
don't mind, I could take one.
Oh, of course.
Without her glowing forehead, it is fair dim up here.
Please.
Right, I'll take this. I'll make sure no one comes up behind you, at least as best as I can. All right.
Let's
If you find Brazak, you probably don't know him personally, but let me know, if you will, please.
We'll shout his name out right before we start trying to stab him.
I would like to keep him alive, actually. I think he's going to have much of the information we need. Don't argue with me, Roshin. I'm putting my foot down here.
If you could keep him alive, it is the entire reason that I'm here.
I would ask it as a personal favor.
Very well.
I just want to know.
The head slaver can live
I just want to know what
a
he's
bit
after
longer.
and why he misled me into helping him.
Not because you wouldn't have helped him if he didn't.
Let's go. Quick.
Up we go.
As we're coming up
Review.
the stairs. Just for the record, said keep him alive. Doesn't mean we can't break his arm and the legs.
Oh, that's a good point. I like that.
I'm
I like the way you
totally
think.
fine with you debilitating him as much as you like. As long as he can still talk.
And do remember, keep spacing, no stack.
Gotcha.
Very well, very well.
Like a pancake?
Exactly. Do not be pancake.
Got it.
Do not be pancake.
So,
Do not be pancake.
I guess Roshin's going to go off to the right as Trushik told her to do.
And yeah, me and Trushik are on the left. So
And resume, it's free to choose whatever avenue.
I'm following
that's-
Roshin.
So,
Like,
Roshin is going right.
Yep.
I'm following Roshin.
You're going with Roshin.
and I'll also be going that way.
Rashik is also going this way.
I thought you were
And-
going left.
Oh yeah, no,
Marshall-
I'm going with Marshall. Sorry.
Okay.
And
Which
I'm-
way is Eleanor going?
I'm going with Roshin.
Yes.
Girl side.
Resume is the choose which side she would prefer to go on side. And the one closest to the door that I'm going in, the alchemist, it would be who I marked for death.
Okay. So, split and set as you are going to be here. As you ready yourselves at the door, you can clearly look across the hallways to each other, and you can still hear this story going. At this point, it's largely descended just into uproarious laughter. And you can hear through near wheezing at the podium. I can't. He had his bloody spoon! A spoon, for God's sakes!
God, I wish I heard the first part of that story.
Well, as soon as they start busting out laughing, give the signal and rush in.
As the group of you move through, they are pretty well distracted, but they are going to at least notice
Heavily armed war
the
party.
heavily armed war party, armed and armored, stampeding through the doorway here.
Now,
And
with my warning, would you guys still want to stay in that formation?
I just dragged everyone over there.
Yeah.
Put yourselves wherever you want. I'm just getting the
Because
music.
this is exactly how I would be.
Yep. Same.
Is that okay with everyone?
Like, you wanna be in the
Eleanor
corner?
can actually go right here and be fine, I think.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Alrighty,
But
here
we'll just-
are two alchemists.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
And here's the guy who had the fastest emotion from boss fight to basic enemy in the history of Pathfinder.
We're calling them Palchemists.
That's the,
That's the big stick guy.
yeah,
Oh,
there you go. You got him.
okay.
Aren't
You got him.
Aren't we
You got him.
extinguishing the things or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that happens in initiative.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm
Because they're
going-
inside the room.
Because they're inside the room.
inside, so you're going to have to go in and you're going to use actions to
Surprise,
disable them.
surprise.
Okay.
So they quickly realize, not maybe quickly, they're very distracted. I'm going to need initiative for everybody.
Heroism, what does that do?
Just
you?
it's just
Okay.
for me, and I'm not
they-
blink focused.
from-
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
do they since I was scouting, did they get the +1 to initiative?
Yeah.
You were scouting,
So
everyone
much
gets
better.
+1 to initiative, yes.
All right.
Oh, +1? Okay.
Yeah, because
That's good.
there was a skiot.
I'll use my session reroll, which is still on the floor somewhere.
It's invisible.
That went up.
Hey, we still slightly improved and rolled a 4.
All right, Lizard Boy.
Winning.
Trishik.
26.
26. Marshall?
20.
We both
Big.
rolled 4.
I
You
rolled.
guys lose these dudes in initiative.
I
they
rolled a
really, they have a
1.
huge penalty. If
I
you
rolled a
lose
1,
initiative,
so-
I'm going to be really disappointed in both of you. Rashid,
Roshin got a 27.
you guys suck. What happened?
That's 10 on the die for me, and I
suck.
have bonuses.
Resume.
I got
You
a
guys-
28.
You guys just high roll like crazy people usually.
Yeah, normally my initiatives are like 15 plus.
Eleonora,
After you.
right? Oh, down
Um,
here hanging out.
Battle cry?
Yeah,
yeah,
you can
I
see
totally
all
battle
of them
cry.
through the door. So either you guys can battle cry as you
I
come into the
will-
two in the bleachers.
I'll go with Big Stick Boy.
And I'm going with Bleacher Girl, who's closest to me.
Yeah, big stick boy. Get over there.
Wow, I am rolling terrible. This is going to jail.
Get it out of the way now.
Yep, I'm just
You want to hit him with the good dice.
Yep.
Intimidating prowess allowed, since I am going
Yeah,
to.
I would say a giant armored woman charging through the door with a long sword out is pretty physically menacing.
I like that. I
Smelling
like
of
that.
viscera.
Smells
I'm
like the
sure
blood
this-
they're
I'm-
about to shed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my blood is on the
All right,
floor.
so what's yours?
38.
Scared to death.
She's pretty spooked.
In a few
uh,
levels. Totally getting that.
She's a scarred.
Yeah.
Yep.
Start every fight with scared to death. All right, are you dead?
Nah.
Good.
You wish you were.
That's pretty spooked. She almost, or that guy, the ladies at the podium, he goes from laughing to almost literally falling off of the bleachers, scrambling, trying to grab the crossbow. And what'd you get?
22. It was sad.
Yeah, 22, that guy is not quite as afraid. All right, so let me get some initiatives for these lads here. So for simplicity's sake, I'm going to do 2 different tokens. Not that anyone is the leader here, but I'm going to have a different one for Stickman. Okay,
Stickman.
Poison guy in the
Stickmans.
bleachers.
Poison Guy and Stickman, the ultimate duo.
So, like Z to Z tier heroes.
What'd he get?
20.
29.
Ah.
Poison guy is, the downside of you scaring him is that he is very quick to respond. Other poison guy, not gonna be quite as fast. What'd you have for Sheik?
27. I guess I said 28 with the +1, so it doesn't change my
What'd you
position.
have, Roshin?
I
Or Resme, rather?
I had a 28.
Holy crap.
Or no, you had the 27.
I have a 27.
I had a
so-
26.
Okay, I'm gonna say you should be higher than me.
Yeah, because I was right below you.
Okay.
So
What was this?
No. He
That was correct.
He forgot which.
I
number
was
it says.
thinking I was his number.
Stick
and he was
boy.
higher than me.
He didn't do quite as good. Alrighty. So up first, scrambling to pick up his weapon here, scrabbling and panicking, and just panicking. Holy no, Garber! Where the crossbow on the ground?
Does a
Reaches-
-2 apply to initiative when you're spooked?
It does. Yeah, I put it on all of these.
Oh,
Yeah, or on her rather.
That's
I should have probably told you this, and I'm sorry I didn't. But because we were sneaking up on them, I was using stealth.
You can't use any exploration actions.
Yeah.
You're fatigued.
I
Oh, you're
can't
using stuff for
Stealth
initiative.
for initiative,
Oh, that's
so that I
fine.
can use surprise attack.
Yeah,
if-
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because we were legitimately sneaking.
we were.
Yeah, you were sneaking. This is an ambush. And he knocks the crossbow on the ground and it clatters onto the stone floor here. And he bends over quickly to pick it up, reaching for a rack of bolts at his hip, and pulls out a bolt with a bright green tip, slams it in the deck, pulls it back, and almost from the ground picks it up and just looses a shot towards Rasheen. Sirenscape, come to me, please.
No, I'm staying here, Squid.
Fighting 2, she's gonna have a tough time. It's gonna be a 26 to hit you.
26. That bolt is gonna go and ping right off of her shoulder pauldron.
And pick up crossbow loader and shoot it. That's her. The other one behind the podium, they were very not ready, is also going to draw her crossbow. And she can see Marshall coming around the corner. She draws it, she loads a bolt, and leveling one arm up on the podium, lays the crossbow out, and again, just looses a single shot towards Marshall. 26. Or what did I say to you? 26? 27.
Yeah, you told
You
me.
said 26.
26.
It was one higher than whatever I just told her.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, 27. 27. Oh, she's not frightened. 29. Never mind.
Oh, 29. Then it just hits.
I was thinking I was
Because
still
my
frightened.
AC currently is 28.
With a 29, as that bolt hits into you, you are going to take 21 points of piercing damage. She's leveled. She seems to be a pretty good shot with this.
She's not panicking.
She's not panicking, yeah.
Yet.
Yes.
That's cute.
I need you to make me a fortitude save.
That is also cute.
That's adorable.
You feel this hit, the tip of it kind of burns.
Pretty
I'm,
sure
I'm
that's
just
a,
gonna say critical success.
yeah. Pretty sure that's a critical success by
38.
itself.
It burns a little.
Does it even burn at all?
It's itchy.
Don't lie.
A little
Like
tingly.
a mosquito bite.
I literally feel it go, oh, that's cute.
Resume.
Resme will come up behind. Actually, no, she can see him just fine from where she is. Can I see the guy standing on the
Absolutely.
podium?
See the guy- Oh, on the podium? Hell no.
No,
On
no, not the
bleachers?
podium.
Yeah.
On the bleachers.
You can see the one guy on the bleachers scrambling for his crossbow on the ground, yeah.
She'll pull her hand off of her amulet, holding a little flame in her hand, and go, flame, and use her once a day, one action produce flame, to send some lovely fire over into his face.
Alrighty.
Yay, fire.
That is going to be a 34.
34 will hit.
D4s.
No, it's yeah, you're right. It is produced.
You have all the rest of them.
You're right.
You took them away from me.
I suck.
You lost your privileges.
She had to like rapid fire magic
Single
missiles.
action produce flame is kind of a cool ability.
Yeah,
It is
really
really cool.
Fire oracles get it. Higher levels.
It's going to be 18 points of fire damage.
Okay. Poof.
And then with her other two actions, she will again cast out with
Tiny fireball. Tiny fireball.
I think this is regular.
prosciutta.
fireball.
and she will telekinetic projectile a lovely little ball of iron, try to hit him right in the eye as he's loading the crossbow, looking down the aim at her.
Okay.
Did you telekinetic projectile?
Bolts.
Any unattended
Yeah, the bolts you just shot. Yeah.
Like the
You just
poison
shot.
bolts that you shot at Roshin, you could totally
So it's
teleport.
-5 because you're taking attack trait for the turn.
That's fine. That's gonna be.
I don't think it's literally ever come up for a spellcaster before, so I'm just making sure you
Oh my
know.
god, yeah, it actually has the
Yeah.
attack trait.
I mean, you know because you do this all the time because you have Fire Sorcerer and you have a 1-action Produce Flame.
That's gonna be a 29.
29 is going to hit.
I wish it would come up more often.
With the way that poison works, once you
It's
shoot,
6
if you
at this
miss, the
level,
poison's
It's
gone.
expended, yeah.
It's still funny though.
It is funny.
It's 66, right?
No, it's your level, so
It's
5.
five.
Your
Yeah,
highest
it is
spell level is 5.
Unless they
I
have
hope it
the poisoner archetype, the poison is expended on a miss.
14, 15,
So being a poisoner would actually work
20.
out worse. for
It's
you.
gonna be 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright, gets hit very hard by this little metal nugget here, and it kind of snaps his head back, reeling as he's still scrambling on the floor, just barely getting a hold of his crossbow. And Mad Cat's 17 with a hero point for Resume. Take that as your turn ends, and we move forth towards Rasheen.
Right. So Roshin is going to move to the torch on the wall. Spend an action to extinguish it.
Okay. Leaving just this one torch over here on the left that is still burning.
And she is going to raise her shield.
Alrighty. Trishik.
I'm gonna hold
Alrighty. What are you waiting for?
after Marshall, because as of right now, they don't know I'm there yet.
That's fair.
And that's how he likes it.
So this guy, as he was laughing here and he yelled at him, he's not scared at all. He stands up. He's already kind of got his great club mostly in hand, and just rushes up to you, up to Marshall, the closest person, just shouting as he drags across the floor. Oh, I don't know who you are, and swings the club around.
It's my tower. I don't know you.
Gonna be a 33.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. It hits.
And wallops you with this tower, with this. Wallops the whole tower.
Whoa, boss guy. He's back to a boss again.
That is going to do 31 points of bludgeoning damage.
Max.
It's going to hit hard enough to knock you over on the ground. As he just swings it around, he follows. But you made a mistake coming up here! And kicks down towards you. You are prone, so you have -2 on your AC here.
He does have a minus to the attack.
Yep, but that's only going to be 21.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Just kicks out and just foot thuds into your armor. And Marshall.
Well, I'm not too happy about getting smacked by this guy again. I just rage and take a swing at him.
You're on the ground, so you have a -2 if you don't stand up, just so you know. Yeah, I can get you the front card.
I mean, I know.
And dismiss the front
But
card. Yeah, just
I
'cause
would
forgot to
figure
give
he
you
has
the
attack
card.
of opportunity. So
That's fair.
From
I'm going
experience.
to rage. Yeah,
the last
I'm going
time.
to rage first, so when he hits me with the club, it doesn't hurt as bad.
This man might not get to attack.
He does not.
You just see Marshall take a quick sip, like it's not good.
That just catches him, throwing him almost onto his butt.
That is a 6, 8. So 8 plus 17 is
25.
25 plus 6 fire damage. And it was a crit,
41.
so
So
times
62.
62.
62.
62.
He was not ready for that. He thought he was gonna have to get back up first. He didn't expect to get hit from the
He
floor.
just swings the axe out before he staggers back. Oh, bloody hell! What are you?
You was not mad. Again, probably no point in getting back up because he's just getting smacked back. You know what? I'll get up. Yeah, I'll stand up. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Take.
you go to get up, he brings the club back around. Oh, shut up! And just goes to slap you with this again. Or 33 again, same number.
Wow. Okay, he hits me again.
It's not
Unfortunately.
gonna knock you back down.
It's trying to knock me back. Or it does knock me down.
But it is going to do 23 points of bludgeoning damage
All right,
on
so-
this second strike, and now you're
So
up.
23 minus 9.
14.
14. Okay. Oh, that literally takes away my 10 hit points.
There
Okay.
you go.
There we go. No math needed.
All right, Trishik,
All right.
But I'm back up, right?
you're up.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Up and you're mad.
this man has overestimated his position, and now he's flanked by a lizard, who he had no clue was here.
So
So
you skitter in the doorway and up onto the
that should be
bleachers behind
25,
him.
right?
Yeah, you can just scamper
Yeah.
around him. He's already pretty focused on Marshall, and the litter just. You can literally just run up the sides of the bleachers behind him with no difficulty here.
So I'll just scoot right on in behind him. Is surprise.
What the hell?
Immediately use coin.
Yep, that's immediately use a
Surprise.
coin.
Oh, let me move this out of the way. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Better.
For a 28
And he's flanked.
with flank.
28 flanked will just catch him.
So
The guy has some pretty hefty chainmail on.
I get
and-
an extra d6 because he's my mark for death. I get backstab.
He is your mark for death.
There is a true chic on the roof.
So actually, because this is not a crit, I can roll them all
On the
together.
floor now.
For now.
5, 10, 22, 26. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
You got 88 damage on him already.
I actually hit as hard as you did, just without the
I'm
crit.
gonna say no.
Yeah. I was like, excuse me?
me?
No, I'm saying on the dice, the number was.
Okay.
Was that with your claw or was that with the weapon?
That's claw.
So you still have an action left.
Yeah. Well, you know, this man's back is exposed to me.
Might as well.
Might as well. 2 lower, so that won't connect.
To be able to just kind of duck and shoulder and shrug that one off with his armor. That brings us to Eleonora.
Eleonora, she's just gonna prance her way to the one unattended fella on the bleachers. Oh, it looks like you're my dance partner for the evening. And we're going to attempt to just swing, batter, swing. For natural 20 to hit.
Making up for last session.
Yeah.
Hello there.
That's how you do it.
Hello, batter.
Everybody dance now.
14, 24, so 48.
Okie dokie. That sends him stumble. That about just topples him over the bleachers.
Pay to the ceiling,
And he's
Eleonora.
flat-footed. He's flat-footed because crit specialization.
Okay.
Yep. You know what? We're gonna swing again. We're gonna go with a bleeding finisher on him.
Ooh.
Go for gold.
That's a 19.
That's a 19
You really
on the die,
are
plus
making up for last session.
20 plus 21 minus the 5. Nah.
34.
19 is 40
30,
minus 5 is 35.
35.
Yeah, against his flat-footed.
35 against his flat-footed. I'm
pretty sure that's good.
Slap? Slap.
Slice and dice.
And that's a finish.
And it's a finisher, too.
Yeah, it's the flattened, frightened
Wow,
one.
that's
so
really
their AC is
impressive,
down
though.
another one now. The frightened
number of
action.
ones.
That's an impressive
Nice.
number of ones, folks.
I mean, still a decent chunk of
10,
damage.
14, 18 plus another 6, so 20.
24.
24.
So
48.
48 again.
That's he's down.
Good job.
You just
Oh,
run in.
nicely
And
done.
I take-
Girl after my own heart.
And since that was part of a finisher, I get to take a 5-foot step. I'm gonna go towards the other guy on the podium.
He
that
just
is-
literally run in. Weapon turn it like
Yeah,
it's
this-
one motion.
This one spin, hand on hilt, hand on pot of blade, and just a
Marshall
spin,
just-
and then turn around and another spin as he goes down.
Marshall looks at you and just goes, "Oh."
And
I'm in love.
I even look back. I even look back at the guy at the podium and do a little curt bow.
And as that guy like was just on the floor, you whack him, he topples back up over the bleachers, feet up in the air as he just wrecks into the seats. Yeah, he doesn't get a turn anymore on account of the deadness. So
Wait, he got a turn?
We don't do turns.
that's gonna bring us to the one behind the podium, who's gonna realize this is not good, and she is going to move back from the podium here around to the base of the bleachers, holding her crossbow up as she goes. Is going to turn her over her shoulder, Max, and see him getting ganged on by Marshall and Trishik. Like, oh, hell. I just level it and take a shot at Eleonora because that was terrifying. So
Yeah, I'm gonna do the dodge, the nimble dodge thingy.
We have 3 people with nimble dodge.
Yeah,
Nimble
thing.
dodge.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It's Nibbleton.
Nibbleton.
it's gonna be a 34.
It hits.
Darn. Not a crits.
Not a crit.
This bolt is gonna catch you for 19 points of piercing damage, and I need a fortitude save.
Save. 26.
So 26, you are gonna feel this kind of burn and sting, and actually see a little more of the skin around the impact of the crossbow bolt fizzle away a bit, but it's not gonna do any worse than that. It's just not gonna feel good. It's not gonna look super pretty. Resume.
Resme is going to step into the doorway so she can at least see who's on the podium.
Oh, that one's on the podium now.
Well, who's on the bleachers.
Right.
And then she will shout out, Infamoris! And she'll use telekinetic maneuver to try to trip the one who just tried to get on the bleachers to throw her back down off the bleachers.
All right. It's reflex.
No, I just roll.
Against her
reflex.
reflex.
Oh, against her reflex. Okay. I thought you were asking me to make a reflex
No.
save.
Yes, you make a reflex save to use your own
On
spells.
the table.
That's going to be a session reroll. Because I haven't used it.
Queens. I've only got 2 of them actually, so a couple of you guys still have them.
That's not going to be great. That's only going to be a 27.
27, you'll see her stumble a bit, but it's not going to pull her down.
Trushish. And she'll shield up.
I don't think you have an action. So come good.
Move.
Oh, that's right.
Action.
You're right.
Roshin.
Right. Well, Roisin remembers what the objective was, so she's going to move to the other torch. And she's gonna look at the alchemist who's gone back to the bleachers and say, "Try to keep an eye on us now. The monsters come out when it's dark," and she's gonna turn she's gonna douse the other torch, and that's demoralize.
Okay.
Not.
So the light level drops to dim now, just having the light from a window set up above the bleachers in the southern wall here.
Worse. All right, so that's 22, 23, 26.
That's frightened. Not frightened too, but it's frightened.
It's frightened.
It still counts.
All right, and on the other side of the room here,
It's dark.
Big Stick Swingo he's pretty hurt. That was a pretty good opener there, and he's not really sure what direction he needs to be facing the most. But he has beaten you, what he feels pretty severely, and you look totally fine. So he's going to swing this club around and turn it back
Nimble
towards the
dodge.
lizard up on the bleachers behind him.
Isn't it dim? So doesn't he have like
Concealment's
too?
first. Yep, that's
Yep.
concealment. That's a 9, so he gets concealment. And then it is going to be the 37 to hit you.
Not a crit.
As he swings this, and this catches you as you're up on the bleachers. What is this? A damn bloody lizard trying to kill me! It's going to be 19 points of bludgeoning damage. And it is going to knock you down. Up on the bleachers there, he just lifts his leg up and like donkey kicks straight back towards you. Bulk of his weight still facing towards Marshall as he pivots back around. 27.
Concealment?
Concealment. It's natural 20 on concealment, so 27 to hit you prone.
I don't think I'm flat-footed when I'm prone.
You are prone. I'm almost certain
Nimble
you are.
crawl.
Was you're not
I'm
flat-footed while
a
you're prone.
I'm a master in acrobatics. Let me check.
No, I know that you're not flat-footed while prone, so 27 normally.
It will
there's a
hit
20
me.
okay.
So, but
So then
I'm-
why are we
no,
looking at stuff?
Because if I'm flat-footed, it hits me. If I'm not flat-footed, it doesn't.
Then it doesn't. Oh my god,
have to
Derp.
see if I-
It doesn't! That's and then as you're on
This
the
is why we
ground
can't
here,
have nice
He's
things.
gonna bring the
Okay.
club back around.
Yeah. No, it does hit because I have to be.
We don't look up rolls in the middle of combat. Because of this exact reason.
Anyway.
He hits you.
Yes.
You are going to take 22 points of bludgeoning damage from his foot. As you're on the ground, he gets it up a significantly better leverage to almost just swing his heel down towards you. And then brings the club around again.
Good catch.
for a math 27.
Concealment.
Concealment. 16.
Okay, so he hit me with all 3.
And as he batters you again with this, you're going to take 26 points of bludgeoning damage from this second hit. As he just kind of growls out and turns around still to face Marshall. And just glances across the room, already sees one person toppled over the bleachers dead. Are you serious? Razan! Marshall.
I'm gonna psych myself up. Just because I did take a little bit of damage in that so far.
As you do that, let me get some party psych ups here. Ghost of Azan in the chat. Hero point to Trishik for having a neat plan, and Rasheen for doing the neat plan.
Hey, thank you.
Nice. And
Stack there, Rasheen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a swing at
I feel
big
I'm
stick
gonna need
boy.
it, this tower.
Roshin is stacked.
Rasheen is stacked.
Oh, that's probably not gonna hit with a 25.
25 is not. He is aware that you hit very hard now, and he is as he's bashing this lizard. He's still
All right.
largely looking your way and just
Well,
barely gets out of the right way of that.
I'm gonna attempt another swing because why not? That's not gonna hit. So that's it.
Going nuts, swinging his direction for Sheik.
I'm going to return the favor to the man who beat me very hard.
You want to hand him your prone card?
Oh right, yeah, sorry.
Just pass it down the table.
28, 26. So re-roll, because I know that missed last time.
How many is that your only hero point?
Yeah,
Okay. And the names are upside
got it.
down, too.
Immediately used it
That's what they're for.
to another 8. An 8 into an 8.
So as you swing out, he's clearly more concerned with Marshall, and your claws are going to catch in his chainmail. Not really hurting him.
Well, I'm gonna do it again.
Nat 20.
All right.
Got him.
Got him. Fishing for 20s.
Just roll
Caught.
dice until you
Just
get
roll
the 20.
dice, forehead. This guy is, he's taking 2 crits and 1 regular hit.
So 10, 16, 32, 42, 45.
Okay.
Because backstab is separate. And then, if he is somehow still standing,
Absolutely still standing. He's pretty bloodied, but he could... Like, he looks pretty swole. He could
I also
quite
need
possibly
a-
take another one of those.
I need a fortitude save.
Let me give you a 35.
All right, so he passes.
He is quite swole.
I'm going to skirmish strike.
Okay. You do that while you're prone.
Yeah, because I have full movement.
Oh, okay, get a nimble claw, right.
And that would be 26 again, or 25. Not that it matters, but I will then move 5 feet away from him, just kind of.
Crawl across the second tier of the bleachers here.
Get out of
Just a little
distance.
rut between the seats.
Yeah.
All right. Eleonora.
I'm going to attempt to tumble through the one guy who backed up to the bleachers. See if I can do that. That's an acrobatics versus their reflex, correct?
Sure, swashbuckler.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
what tumble through is. It's versus
Okay.
the reflex. So 29,
I'm pretty sure it passes.
or
Yep.
yeah, a 30 actually.
30 definitely passes.
Cannot math. Sweet. So I have panache again.
You backflip over this.
Yeah, I actually, as I go up to him, I let go with one hand, my sword, I grab, just loop my arm through theirs and just turn them back around. Like, grab your partners, round and round. And we're going to swing, swing, swing battle.
And while you roll that Dragonic Soul 221, because fear needs to return to the heroes at some point. A villain point. Sick.
Pass this down.
Last one.
You have to let go of it, otherwise I can't have it.
It was like falling
wondering
out
what
of my
this was.
hands. It was falling out of my hands.
She had to pin it against my hand so it wouldn't hit the floor.
Fair
So she had
enough.
to
38. To hit.
We can't keep getting away with it, man. That's a crit. Like
Make it up for last session.
you bully.
you. What was the other die?
A 17.
Stop! My poisoners.
10, 13, 23 points of damage.
Okay, that's the first hit that she has taken.
And then
Wait, 23 or 46?
Probably 46 if you
40,
critical.
if it was crit, yeah,
Okay, that's
46.
good. I was like, that's a really bad crit. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna confident finisher.
Okay. Confidence.
17 on the die.
He's not kidding. Like she's
So-
just rolling like
33.
crazy.
30. Oh, she's also flat-footed because critical spec.
Yeah.
So 33.
That does not crit.
She is feared 1.
I know. I
Okay.
have that one. I was looking
I was
at
just
that.
fishing for those minus
Like,
ones.
oh, you did it. You're one off critting, flat-footed, frightened one.
It's like, ooh, you got me.
8, 10,
Well,
22, 28, 31, 37.
That's a finisher.
With confidence.
Yep, that's a
This is finishing school.
good hit right there.
And then I 5-foot step back away from her.
Back up the bleachers.
Yep. As part
Alrighty.
of my finisher.
The bleach.
So
jeez.
she, and then kind of left here, is gonna hear the guy shouting, and she is going to look towards the door and see Resume there, and she's just gonna drop her crossbow and sprint at you, pulling out her short sword as she does. And as she rushes forward, drawing this blade, her other hand she has above it, and she just kind of runs them down counter to each other. And you can just see as the blade flashes up that she has wiped some liquid or reagent across it. She flicks the sword up towards Resume.
Nimble dodge.
Nimble dodge.
Good time for it.
Concealment.
Concealment first.
Get a 1.
It's a 2.
Yeah.
I'm a villain point that.
Yep.
Oh.
Now with
Thank
the
you,
1.
Rez Dark Fang, the appropriate. Dark Fang's absolutely appropriate for the
My name is
concealment roll
Night
here.
Nightshade.
The other 2!
Oh!
Concealment! In the,
Battle
in the,
plan.
the dim light from the
Forming well.
window, the sword is going to fly just alongside you, missing completely. And Resume, that does bring us to you. That was a good plan.
Yeah.
It didn't work
Resume.
for me at all.
Did not work for you at all.
Resume is going to
Same.
maneuver herself out of the way.
Mobility.
15 feet towards Eleonora.
Okay, like kind of up on the bleachers here.
Yep. And then she is going to look up at True Chic and see how he looks a little bit worse for wear. And she's going to intone out and send healing energy into you. And now I need actual D8s, not D10s. I need more of those. Thank you.
Give me my pile.
A bucket of healing.
9, 14, 17 plus 30. No,
it's 8 per die, so it'd be 32.
32.
Plus
Oh,
32.
8 per die. That was 6 per die.
So it's gonna be 56.
56 health at your sheet.
Look at that. Most of your health is back.
And Roshin.
All right.
Much better. The bones are no longer broken.
I got you, my
You
lizard
just kind of
friend.
get bashed into the bleachers.
Well, look at that. 25 feet gets me right up into walloping range. So Roshin is going to close with this this poisoner with a single stride and raise the shield as she goes. Oh, you couldn't quite get away, could ya? And take a swing down with her sword. That's only a 26. I'm gonna do a hero point. I have a lot of them.
He said to himself.
I'm gonna hope for better. Thank you, Jayazo.
Feed the nice one.
That is
better.
excellent.
All right, that's 30.
30 will hit.
So that's gonna be that's 12 and 4, 16 slashing, and he is bleeding for a
Alrighty.
d6.
So as you catch her, which kind of just is a slicing blow across, she stumbles a bit towards the doorway, You haven't caught me yet. Still clearly trying to make her way out. You have an action left, right?
No,
Move
it's
and swing?
move, shield,
Oh,
snipe.
it's shield.
She's got a poison blade. I'm gonna be a little cautious.
Please no.
Poison
Alright.
bad.
Wait, I don't like poison.
I've got a hold of the tower to go start smashing.
So our
through.
large lad over here, as Trishik kind of crawls back away a little bit. He's gonna look towards Marshall. He's gonna 5-foot step.
Bully.
5-foot step. Does
Hey.
not provoke reactions.
Does
Oh,
not
it
provoke
Oh, it
reactions.
does not. Oh.
Up onto the bleachers after
I forgot.
Trishik.
Nimble
And
dog.
he's like, no, you started this. Get back here. You're already prone, so he's gonna swing it down at you. 32.
That would be a concealment.
Yeah.
Concealment. 5. He passes. Yeah. got him with
You're not
exact
Resme.
He
lethal.
does hit.
Sad.
Getting you for 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
Stop undoing what I just
As this
did.
kind of slams into the planks,
Never
one of the
helps.
bleachers here. He picks up one leg and just kind of stomps down towards your torso. Concealment. 17.
Stop smacking my lizard friend.
To hit. 29.
That hits. That would hit regardless of the prone.
He's going to get you for 24 points of bludgeoning damage with that. Soundly undoing pretty much exactly the heal. He looks across the room. He sees the lady of the fighting retreat. He sees the dead guy in the bleachers. He sees Eleanor dancing way up the stairs. Let's look at Eleanor. Who the hell even are you people? And slam the thing down at Trishik again.
We're the heroes of Breach Hill.
This turn
The
around.
heroes of
Mark.
what?
Trademark.
Natural one. So third one. The heroes of what? Just next to Trishik. Confusion. Marshall.
Just come on right up on him. And then take a swing at him. Cause that's what I do. I'm just go to
You
Dice.
started real strong,
Go to Dice Joe.
and now you're just swinging like a barbarian. You're stepping up, swinging, and you got a follow-up strike here. Marshall just rampaging up. This dude is like having one of those Crash Bandicoot run towards the Marshall behind him, just swinging his axe like crazy. Just
Bits of bleacher
Marshall
start
just
flying.
gets more and more.
tearing the bleachers
He just
apart.
gets more and more angry as he keeps
This guy
missing.
keeps trying to step away. This is like the image here. Trishik scampering backwards like, on the ground, trying to dodge these blows. He's slamming his way through. Marshall's just destroying the bleachers on his way up. Trishik.
Well, it's time to leap forward and drive my claws into his gut.
Ooh.
For a natural 2.
Woo!
Yeah. Is this gonna be another one of those like my dice just aren't gonna let me do anything? So, second attack, -4. So, you stay down there.
I don't trust you.
Jail.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's a 32.
32 will catch him.
He finally caught him for claws.
Finally caught him for claws. 3, 6, 9, 13, 19, 23.
All right, a solid hit, but again, a staunch man swinging his big old stick around.
Well, we got one more skirmish strike.
Skirmish strike.
Just a,
There
it like lazily rolls
There
over.
it
That's a 20.
is.
This is the
Drove
Trishik we
one
all
claw
like.
into his gut and then the other one.
That's the 20.
So, and then backstab. So 5, 9, 15, 16, 20, 45.
And 45, what do you do to him?
I'm just gonna disembowel him directly onto the bleachers.
Just kind of like
One claw, then the other, and then just rip him out.
And then you still skirmish striking.
Yeah, I can go anywhere I want
Where you
from
going?
there, so I'll step up on the bleachers.
Crawl up on the bleachers, you're still prone. But
that still counts as one.
Jesus.
it only is one.
Yeah,
How
it
did
is
it
just
count as
one.
more than one? You got one left, right?
No.
Swing,
No,
skirmish
That was
strike?
it.
No, I swung and got a 2.
Oh, I forgot about
Swing,
the first
swing,
Yeah.
skirmish
I
strike.
literally forgot about the two.
We put the 2 out of our
I
heads.
swung and got
So
a
we put the
32,
two over
and then I
head.
swung for a natural
Just
20.
rules.
Eleonora.
Eleanor is gonna kind of put her hands on her hips. You don't just run away from a dance partner. And she's gonna sprint down the bleachers, leaping off of them towards the and hopefully landing in the doorway, seeing she is trying to retreat.
Swashbuckler speed.
Yeah, boy. I do not have panache, but that does not matter to me.
Flank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're gonna swing our once. A 25.
25. He'll hit her flanking.
Yeah, boy.
Wow.
She is much less armored than the man with the giant club.
For
She's got some light leathers.
math, 11, 15, 21 damage.
Okay.
And then
That seems like another strike would about be enough to bring her down.
we're gonna do another strike. We're gonna try.
I can do that.
I can do this. Math. 35 minus 5.
30.
30.
I can do
Please
that
tell
one.
me 35 minus 5 was not the
I
math.
was about to say 30. Please
Hits.
hits. Dropping dice. 12, 18 plus 2 more, so 20.
With that, Eleonora, what do you do to her?
As I come down with the first strike, I just take her, spin her around, and just run the blade through her back, or across her back.
You got the perfect dance fight. There, you got it in.
I
You
got
made
it
up
in.
for the ghost battle.
Well done, everyone. That was very elegant.
And then about.
And
Thank you.
That was nicely done. I loved it.
It was lovely. Trishik, you look rather the worse for wear.
It's not a fun thing to be pancaked by club.
Oh, trust me. I know
did
exactly
that.
how you feel.
I pay him back.
I suppose you have
Licking
little
my
oil
claws
tinctures
clean.
to go around.
Trishik, here, have some lovely essential oils. They're essential for that that skin of yours. It's going to moisturize, and it's you're just gonna smell lovely.
Smell.
some
Like we
dice
care
at
about
you.
smell.
like you can smell anything other than Rasheen.
Well, at this point, I think they're used to it, so they just ignore it.
Exactly.
Well, it smells like regular death in here now, too.
Well,
On
fair.
account of all the death.
With
You
a,
don't even notice Roshin's smell in here. It's great.
with a slight hint of dwarf.
Oh.
Krasach.
Does he get musky when he rages? Or like.
Eleanor, you
I mean,
Take back 30.
I don't think you were hit that bad, were you?
No.
Are you still muted?
So, you pull out some tinctures, and Rasheen casts a heal on
Heal on Eleonora,
You
yeah.
cast a heal. Actually, if you're casting a heal, as you touch her,
13.
I don't.
as the heal touches her,
Okay.
as the spell touches her, she actually shirks back
Are you good?
and she lets out a gasp like she's in pain. And when she looks up at you, you see black veins just running across her face, from underneath her mask, and up her chest that's open and exposed. And she that was unexpected. I ask that you don't do that again, please.
I see. No promises. If you're bleeding out, I'll help you out. But
Oh.
I imagine we can talk about that later.
I'm just gonna do a slight medicine check on myself.
Medicine check is 10 minutes. Are you sitting
Yeah.
here
Oh,
for
yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah, no.
A
probably
slight
not.
medicine check, a band-aid.
I've got you.
You got
I
me.
can take care of
Okay.
him.
I was about to say. I was just literally
I can
go.
take care of him. I've got time.
You make yourself feel better, you wipe
tons of
some blood
magic.
off. you're
Okay, yeah,
good.
go ahead.
Marshall, come here, darling. You do look a bit scratched up.
Ah, appreciate the messy.
Resme's magical cure-all.
What?
Wow.
Bring on the
Did you just roll
8s.
4 8s?
No, I rolled
3
3
eights.
8s and
Oh,
a
I
1.
can't see that blue one, yeah.
It's still a lot.
That's a lot of 8s.
It's going to be 57 points of health back.
Yeah, I'm back to full now. Thanks. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, my friend.
A couple of quick healing spells and a little bit of alchemy applied to Trishik. You quickly rally yourselves, you muster up, you recover as rapidly as you can, because that was not exactly a quiet battle, and you probably don't want to wait a whole lot of time before rushing up more stairs. We are, however, going to be waiting an entire week before you rush up said stairs.
stairs.
Because here, having gotten our foothold and having made our way in to the Scarlet Refuge here in Tannessen Tower, is where we're going to leave our adventures for now. When we come back next week,
Ooh,
This
last
is the-
minute Roisin point.
Last minute Roisin for Roisin. Before we
Ooh.
go, ZJSA12. Gotta make sure your bucket stays pretty full, comrade. Take this.
Thank you.
When we return next week, we proceed up the tower. It took us 5 flights of stairs before we
many
arrived
stairs.
at any resistance, and we have beaten through what kind of seems like their vanguard, those that they just have as guards posted on the lowest floor. We haven't really made our way up into their operations proper yet.
Yeah, Valia isn't so much resistance as she is just. What would you call Valia?
Distraction.
No, she's a non-lethal and like barrier.
I mean, if she actually starts swinging at people, she can mess them up. But Squid doesn't like
Not if she
multiple
put.
NPCs, so-
Not if she pulls out the book.
That's true. She could wallop them with the book.
Pulls out
The book
and-
is there for versatile bludgeoning.
So we will be here next week to proceed further up in the Tannessen Tower to meet Brazak, this caster we've heard so much about, this devil summoner. See how much this is responsible for and how much we can possibly learn. The week after that is Thanksgiving weekend, and we are unfortunately not going to be here.
I want to.
But after that, I think we are through the interruptions for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
unless
we're good for the
Christmas
rest
is
of the
like
year.
literally on a Saturday, in which case I can't guarantee I'll be playing. But if it's not literally Christmas,
That's on
We're
Friday.
playing. Oh,
on Friday.
perfect.
Yep.
So day after
Yeah.
Christmas, oh, we're
We're
chilling.
totally
we're chilling
playing.
if you're chilling.
I'm chilling.
Okay, because of schedule, man.
Hey, I'm already off that entire weekend.
Good to go.
I'm
so
Jewish.
that should be the last.
Just saying.
Fair. Should be the last episode that we miss for the year. But next week, I think we finally make some Scarlet headway here. We might
Yes.
learn some things.
We're gonna Scarlet try harder.
Can we end it on that?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're just gonna.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.